Is this thing do chat? Okay.
Favorite lesbian talking about cocks. That's funny. Someone called me Indian. That hurts.
Well, that was fast.
Dude, check it out. You like this shit? Look at that, bro.
I just see reflection.
That's a genuine Indian foot. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
You
proud.
got that?
Yeah.
So was that in the Loves? The Loves you went into? Was that in the truck stop or?
No.
Oh fuck! We just lost Bob.
Trolling people for I troll the patch people, and I get them to send me feet pics. And then I used to post on a story. I feel like I ran through them all. And then someone came up to Shu. There it is.
He gets pissed off at us.
Hey, live. We lost Brass.
It's refusing to add him back. I guess I know this might explain why Focus Trip pays so much more for his streaming software than we pay for ours. Because this thing gets worse every time we use it.
Pop, is your mic complete dog shit right now? You might be on the wrong one.
Oh yeah, it probably just reset everything again.
Come on, feedback. No, I don't hear me. We're good. So, hey,
Yeah, I refuse to wear headphones half the time.
Yeah, it is pretty communist. Sergeant Pickles, what's up, dude?
Is Mr. Grenade coming? Maybe not. The man's been under fire for a bit recently.
Okay, do I sound like a human being again?
Yeah. A bit quiet, but yeah.
Well, that's just because I mumble.
Oh, shit. Can't hear him now.
Yep, we got you.
Okay, cool.
Well, pardon the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen, but that's just because I don't know what I'm doing. We are here with Charlie Cox of YouTube to talk about our experience with content creation and I guess more specifically, like the content that we like to watch and what we look for in other content creators. I know there's some like YouTube people who make a point of saying like, I never watch any other YouTube, but we are not those people. We just watch YouTube. That's all we do all day as a job. It's awesome.
And Instagram.
We also watch a lot of Instagram. Lately, I've been watching a lot of Twitter.
Yeah, it's not my job yet, but I definitely watch a lot of YouTube.
Any day now, you're going to join our noble ranks.
Of being an unemployed fuck that posts pictures of themselves on the internet.
Yeah, the fun employed.
Jesus, dude. I don't think I've posted a picture on Instagram in like, fuck, I don't know how long. Months, maybe.
I gave up on Instagram for a while because every time I would post anything, it would put me into the little Instagram jail and I'd have to beg to get out. And I was like, this isn't worth it. Like, I don't want to go through this rigmarole every time. Like, I post a picture of my cat and it's like selling weapons.
That's where I'm like,
I fully admit that it's possible Socko is selling weapons on the side, but this post is not promoting the sale of weapons. So how can you do this to me?
I think, what was it? They I don't know what it's called on Instagram, a strike or whatever it is, but I peeled it and it's like, oh, cool. So they removed that and then they added like 11 or 12 more. And I was like, sick, dude. Cool. So I pretty much just use it to message every once in a while and that's about it. And post pictures of my dog butcher.
Animals.
Oh, yeah, that's what for.
That's what Instagram's for. Instagram's for the animals. Twitter is where you can put the gun stuff. At least for now, it seems like it's a safer place, but it's also a much, much dumber place. The communities that I found myself in on Instagram seemed like they were all pretty savvy, and the communities that tend to respond to what you post on Twitter, it seems like they've never owned or shot a gun before, and they're like, "Oh, I recognize that. That's the AK-47 from Call of Duty Modern Warfare."
That is to say something that either group doesn't like. They'll both pounce.
It's a tough place to be.
Yeah, it's a hard life.
Yeah.
As long as I'm liquored up enough. I can hold my own.
Speaking of which, do we open this with like channels we like watching or something like that? And I'm sure at some point we'll get pissed off enough at something that we can actually get the real live stream going. So I'm just probing for.
Let's talk about Trench Grenade first.
Oh yeah, great. Did you see him get absolutely fisted about 2 nights ago?
Was it
a bit of an uncomfortable watch?
Valhalla DFT? Yeah, I was watching a movie with my old lady, and then she passed out. So I was like, I think I'll watch that. And it was like during the yelling part. I was like, fuck, all right, dude.
It was a bit much, yeah. It was a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was gnarly. That was a whole thing. I guess was that Valhalla dude had made a video and it said stolen valor, and I don't know. It was entertainment. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I know, I don't have any beef with Trench. I did watch the clip that was put up where you were on the Focus Street show, and I think his beef with me was a misunderstanding of a comment that I made about the iron sights. So I said that I have never had an issue with stock Glock iron sights, and I wasn't saying that as in these are as good or better than a red dot. I was just saying, like, the reason that I haven't replaced them with metal ones or night sights or taller co-witness sights, whatever, is because the stock iron sights are fine for me as far as iron sights go. So I think that was just a misunderstanding that kind of somehow earned my inclusion in the thumbnail of all places. But
yeah.
No, I don't know. I think honest misunderstanding there.
Yeah, I don't hate that Trench dude or anything like that. Like I said in that stream, the only reason I came in hot is because he did. And that's, got the better of me for that. But nah, it was pretty plain Jane, and that was about it. And as far as iron sights, I do the same thing. Like, I don't think I'll ever buy a pair of iron sights for Glock again. I just leave them. If they stay on the gun, I just leave the plastic ones, or I just rip them off and toss them somewhere and lose them.
The only thing that I would replace them is if I needed to get them taller to co-witness through a red dot, because that's still, that's my little Fudlore thing. I'm unwilling to have a pistol without backup iron sights. Brock just took the front sight off of his carry Glock, I think, at some point, because he's like, I don't give a shit.
No, it came off, and then I never replaced
it. It fell off. You didn't actively remove it. You just didn't actively replace it after it fell off. That makes sense. But like, I don't know. I see red dots do weird stuff that I don't like, and then I always want that back.
Well, it's because you keep putting fucking dog shit red dots on your carry guns.
We have the same red dot, Brock.
What's the dog shit red dot?
I have a Holosun EPS on. All right, I had a Holosun EPS on my MR920.
What was the one that shit the bed during the USPS the match?
That was the EPS. It didn't shit the bed. In the 45 seconds between when I checked my pistol, holstered it, and the timer went off, I had somehow pushed the down brightness button enough times to put it into night vision 1. So when I drew the pistol, I had no dot. I pushed up a couple times. I couldn't see the dot because that was only bringing it into like night vision 4.
And then you switched and you shot the whole stage with irons.
And then I was like, fuck that. I'll do irons instead because I had backup irons, right? So the red dot worked as advertised. When you push the down button, it does in fact go down. So after that, I started carrying in the second highest brightness with the lockout engaged because I figured that gives it a better chance of staying where I put it, whatever. But still, if somehow in 45 seconds I could holster a pistol and then just with my crotch push the down button 14 times, then surely I could also, with my just the force of my crotch, I could probably also disengage the manual lockout mode. Like,
you were just a little too excited when Chris was doing the stage of Course of Fire with his broken arm, one-handed, and somehow beat Ryan, I think.
Yeah, oh, he was locked in for that one. But yeah, so when I see stuff like that, I'm like, I think backup iron sights are an okay idea. But like right now, my Glock has the SCS on it, and that doesn't need taller sights to co-witness. I pre-ordered the Primary Arms HDX1, and in theory, that one won't need them either. So I'm going to keep carrying this gun with a red dot on it, and I'm going to keep the stock bucket sights on there. And it will be fine because they're backups. And, backups are backups. Same thing with Magpul M-Bus on a rifle. They're backups. They're probably going to be fine. They're probably going to be adequately accurate. Why pay money for M-Bus Pros unless you just need them to get smaller, right?
Yeah, I've fallen into that trap of that kind of Gucci trap before. At least when I first started shooting, it was like, oh well, this one costs a little bit more, but they're better. The internet says they're better. I better get them, or I'll die. I'll die in the streets. I've also shot a match where I actually turned off the a stage during the match where it was a Vortex Defender XL, and at some point I actually turned it off, and it was a hoser stage. So I bring my gun up, and there's just nothing. So I did that like, yo, am I that retarded? And I'm just fishing for it, and finally I said F it, and I just hosed, and it was terrible. It was such a bad stage.
About 50% of the time, like I kind of do this in everything I do. About 50% of the time the gun comes up, I black out, and then I show up at the end of the stage. I'm pretty sure I didn't see a single dot that whole time. It's like, oh, sometimes that was, A or M, and sometimes that was you forgot 4 targets. It's like, who knows,
That's my biggest thing is forgetting about targets. I'm just always paranoid I'm going to. Like, what was it? It was so Washington State, they had a match. It was it was the Washington State sectional, and they had solid walls. And you don't usually find clubs that have solid walls. So I was just the entire 2 days just paranoid. I'm like, I'm gonna forget something. I'm just gonna forget something. I didn't, but it definitely slowed me down a little bit. That I'm just retarded.
I think the first time that I ever shot what you could call a USPSA stage was actually at a SIG event a couple years ago, some launch event they did at their facility. And that's where, so Luke, who has shot more competition than me, taught me some stuff over the course of that afternoon. And there was a stage that we did, and they had a similar thing. I think it was like big solid pieces of plywood as notional walls. And there was a target where you had to lean around and hit one target, then lean further and hit a second target. And I leaned far enough to see the first target, engaged it, and I started, unloading my gun and everything. And everybody in the background behind me just said, if you are finished. And I was like, why are they putting so much emphasis on the word if?
Yeah.
And then I finished the stage. And then Luke was like, by the way, they're not allowed to help you, but they will say if you are finished, and they will put emphasis on the word if you have in fact fucked up.
I mean, you're fucked at that point if you're sitting on the finish line waiting.
If I had come around the corner, engaged twice, and then started to go down, and someone said "if" in just the right tone of voice, and I understood what it was, I've been like, "Oh yeah, I see where it is." But having not heard it before, I was just like, "Why are they being so weird about the word if?"
Oh yeah, that's I don't even know if I'd go back for an FTSA. I don't know if it was like a local or something. I'd probably be like, I don't.
Because that's like 3 to 4 seconds just sitting there, so you don't.
And that's if you remember which one it was. It's like just checking out, looking around. I forget what match it was, but there was something. There was a homie hit me up, and it was right when we're about to hit this stage. And he found a dog, Asian Kenny. He found a dog, so it's like, oh shit, dude. So I was reaching out to someone else to see if they could go grab the dog from him and take it to the Humane Society. So I didn't walk the stage at all. And someone asked me, just like, yo, you want to walk it? And I was like, no, I got it. That was an easy hoser stage, and just shot by these targets. And what's funny is there's these two little brothers who shoot the matches out here, and they both just started dogging, dude, just talking mad shit. It was so funny. So funny. So that's a fun story. How's my audio? Is it dumb and stupid?
I think it's fun. Probably,
okay.
Probably could afford investing in a better mic, but other than that, whatever. It's fun.
You could get the influencer dong mic that you can talk into the tip of, just like everybody else.
Yeah, where you're just like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my throbbing vein.
You use a program called Meter to drop your bass really low.
Hey guys. So let's get it back on target, right?
Let's be topical for once.
For once in our fucking life. I don't think any one of these streams have ever been topical, but I'm kind of curious from like your side of the internet, because I hang out with Hop. Sometimes I hang out with Focus, whatever. We have our side of the internet that we tend to watch. Do you watch a lot of GunTube stuff, Charlie, or are you more of a just do your own thing? Because that's kind of what I find myself doing over time.
No, not too much, man. I pretty much. I don't know if there's something specific I might be interested in. There's very few channels, right? Like I was telling you in the chat, like it's hard to decipher a lot of times now because GunTube is so saturated, and there's a ton of guys who, like, I always bring this up, but like when a Springfield product comes out or something like that, it's like there's like 10 channels that all drop the same video on the same day, and it's usually good, and it's just hard to tell. So I kind of stopped watching a lot of GunTube, but then also being in this sphere a little bit and a little bit of behind the scenes, it's like seeing some things I don't really like as much. That there's a few select channels I watch if I'm kind of interested in that product, or if I was interested in that product, or if it happens across the screen and it's like, oh, that'd be kind of cool, you know, like. When you did the RXM video, I thought that was because I had just picked up an RXM, and I was like, oh, I want to see the thoughts on this. You know what I mean? So not a lot of GunTube. It's mostly just history stuff. I don't know.
Hop gets really upset at me because I link him the things. You know, he's my wife, so of course I want to share stuff with him. So I link him all. I love like military history and like statecraft history shit. So I send him like 1.5 hour bangers, and he doesn't watch any of them. So it's
okay. That's one of my big criteria for what like channels that I choose to watch. It's if they can be succinct, because you do not need to spend 30 minutes delivering most of the information people can provide in a YouTube video, right? Like it's possible to winnow that down either by speaking more clearly or by editing or by scripting. Like a lot of videos that are long because it's easier to just vomit a script out or just talk into a webcam unscripted for a long time, or they understand cynically that they can run more ads on a longer video, or just that like retention is one of those numbers that YouTube really likes. So longer video is like good. You should always post long videos. People love that shit. They want something that's going to last the entirety of their lunch break, or that they can listen to while they're watching a TV show, because multitasking is a very popular these days. I thought
it was going to be hard to. I thought it was like going to be nothing but short videos. Like, it's probably hard to get a lot of content as far as like a good 20-minute video or something like that. And then it was the complete opposite. It's like, fuck, there's a ton of stuff that could be put in this. You know, what's relevant, what's not relevant. Like, there's a video we did. It was, is USPSA scary? And that's 5 or 6 hours of filming. It's like, oh, how do you get that down? You know? So, but I hear you on that one, because a lot of people on YouTube just in general, it's like, oh man, this is an hour video. This is an hour and a half video.
Yeah. And I mean, I've made this joke before, but it's like true crime documentaries where a bunch of different channels are just going to go to the Wikipedia page for a well-known crime, and they'll just read it to you, and they're all the same. And they're all like, we've investigated this. And you investigated the Wikipedia article, and maybe you clicked on 1 or 2 of the reference links, you know, in the bibliography. That's about as much investigating as you did. And then you could spend all day on YouTube and you will never catch up with your, watch later playlist. You'll never get through it. So yeah, a big part of it for me is finding channels that can be succinct, that can deliver information in a shorter format. Ironic, considering that I think Brassfacts and I both started out our like firearms journey by watching a shitload of Nut and Fancy. Like that was the main thing that we watched. But he, a 45-minute Nut and Fancy video is going to contain significantly more information than a 45-minute video from almost anybody else, or at least, golden age Nut and Fancy.
Yeah, now he's a little senile sometimes.
He's semi-retired, you might say. But yeah, that's huge for me. Like I really, if I'm looking for information about a subject and a video pops up and it's 45 minutes long, it's fast. It's legitimately faster for me to buy the gun my own damn self and shoot it to learn. So that's a big driver who I follow.
It's one of those things where it depends what type, because there's 2 distinct sides of GunTube. I think me and Hop are tried to be on the informational side, and then there's the hard entertainment side where it's like, hey, I'm a personality. I mean, everyone's a personality, but you're really leaning into the personality aspect, and you're just here. You're there with the bros shooting guns, right? That's the video format. And if you learn something along the way, so be it, right? So, and then there's obviously a sliding scale of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you got it's like you have review content, but then when you break it down, it's like dudes who actually shoot and give an opinion, or they'll buy it themselves. If it breaks, they'll tell you it broke. They can actually give out some information. And then you have the reviews, which are, they just wait as free stuff comes in. They're just like, oh, I'll just do a video on that. I'll just do a video on that. And they're selling you their personality more than they're selling you on the gun, because they're only going to put 100 to 200 rounds, literally show up with the gun brand new to the range, do the video, and it gets sidelined. And then it'll most likely get sold or traded, you know, and it's like, it's hard. It's those ones especially. It's like, if I wanted to be entertained, like I have Amazon Prime, I don't need to sit on YouTube, you know?
So like, yeah, you cannot fit 1,000 rounds of ammunition being fired into a 10-minute YouTube video. Like it would just be unfeasible. So there really should be some sort of some editing, some going home and thinking about it after the fact. You know, that's another issue. Like I tend to treat videos that are all shot in one day on one range as sort of first impressions videos, even if they're called reviews, because I oftentimes Brock will shove a camera in my face and be like, what do you think about that gun you just shot? And I'll be like, I don't know yet. I'll tell you tomorrow morning after I've slept on it. But like right now, I don't know if I have a coherent thought about this gun.
I mean, you mentioned that.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, you kind of mentioned that with the review embargoes and free SIG products or free Smith. What's the other one? Springfield products. And they get the gun in one day and they, like Hop said, it's a first impressions, and there's nothing wrong with making a first impressions video other than it's mostly entertaining.
Yeah.
But that's what it is, and a lot of these videos kind of end up like that. Granted, we say that, but then which channels are pulling all the views? So who the fuck knows?
Yeah, that's true. That is true, but how long do those views last? I mean, there's even within the past year, you can watch Kings fall off. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the name of the game. And I don't know, like, nothing wrong with first impressions. Honestly, it's America, so I guess do whatever you want to do. Who am I? I'm just some asshole on the internet, just like the other guy. But it's like, some guys go a little bit hard in the paint, and it's like, love this gun. I would definitely get this gun. You know what I mean? Like, you should get this gun. It's like, yeah, what in that 150 round session that you turned into a 15-minute video just really told you that?
Because it fit their hand so well.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. That was, I encountered that because I think there's less than 20 videos that my buddy Fetzy and I have kind of put up on the channel. So I'm still learning the game as far as like how I feel about things. And one video that happened, it happened with the subcompact video. Did a few videos back. It was got the gun. Originally wanted to be like, okay, if I liked subcompacts, it would be with ports. Like, this is what I would like. And then I go about shooting it. We filmed it, and I was like, it just didn't feel right because I prefer it with ports, but I still hate subcompacts. Like, they're just not my jam. Just didn't like them. So we went out after shooting it multiple times, filming it once, went out and filmed it again because it was like, well, like it's just not going to feel genuine if I ended the video how I kind of originally ended it, because it was just like scatterbrained thoughts. Whereas the second time it's like, yeah, this is cool if you are trying to sneak it in. I mean, definitely don't sneak it into a hospital, I guess, right? But if you have to dress a certain way or something like that, but me, it's like, I don't have those requirements. So I wouldn't get this small little gun then just to build out to be a larger gun with the extra snappiness,
Yeah. I mean, that's a big reason why I stripped a lot of stuff, because it's just like, I can't, a lot of times if I go off the cuff, it's really hard to say what I want to say. So,
yeah.
If I'm driving into the woods to shoot an off the cuff video, the whole drive up, I am talking to myself about, because I'm schizophrenic. You probably didn't know that about me, but I'll just be talking to myself the whole way up, So even if I'm off the cuff, I've already sort of thought about what I was going to say, because I really do want it to be as concise as possible while still being informative. So that's huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as far as the YouTube stuff that I try to catch up with, I think there's like two very distinct categories, and one is like product journalism on stuff that's coming out. And for that, I have a small roster of like channels that I really trust, whose opinions I've been able to vet, and that's a combination of like watching that person's video on a product I already have experience with and seeing if their experiences align with mine. I'm like, oh, we are on the same wavelength. So that means if this guy posts another video about something I haven't used, I already know we kind of think alike. And that's probably how Brassfacts and I started working together, because we could, I could compare his notes to my notes for a while and be like, okay, I feel like any video that comes out from him is probably going to be of value to me because I already know we have similar outlooks on this sort of stuff. Or people that I've like met in person that I've gotten a feel for, I guess, as just general human beings or seen their skill. Like, I guess a good example for that might be like Dave, the Humble Marksman. I've met him in person. He's an awesome guy, very nice. And I've seen him shoot. He's an extremely good shooter. And he tends to notice things that I would also find of interest when he reviews handguns.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I feel like going forward, if I need information about a pistol and he's done a video on it, I can probably get that info from him.
For sure. I mean, it seems like most of his videos, he's out shooting matches with whatever gun he's looking at or anything like that, like actual hands-on experience, and I have a little bit of maybe just all my personal experience kind of hovering around the spheres for so long. Like I absolutely hate the videos where it's like, no, you're just doing a video because it got sent to you and you're going to be done with it. That's it, or like, hey, we got this in, and also here's the company here with us, so no pressure. It's like, was there money? Tell me if there was money.
I do. Yeah, you probably will see that a lot where someone's like, this is an amazing product, and then they never use it again. And you're like, But I mean, there's also some validity in that. Like, there's a lot of times where I'll shoot a gun and I'm like, this is a really good gun, but like, is it better than the Glock I already have? Not really. So if you're an anti-Glock person, I could still, Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0, it's like 99% as good as a Glock in my opinion. So if you were going to buy one or the other, you basically couldn't go wrong. But doesn't matter how much positive stuff I say about an M&P, I'm not going to switch from Glock to M&P.
Yeah. So that's funny that you say that. So like once I get back to shooting heavy, so I tried to switch to an M&P and I just kept getting malfunctions.
Oh, wow.
Well, not that extreme, but it was after I dropped in like aftermarket parts, right? Like the Apex trigger and Apex
That's
barrel.
how they get you.
Yeah. And then it was like, I think I finally got fed up when it was on a classifier and I got a light strike. And it was one of the 24 series before they fixed it. So I was like, I'm just done with this gun. But now it's like, okay, would I switch to it? Probably not. But it kind of piqued my curiosity to put more rounds through it and see if something changes, and then maybe do a video, because there are dudes competing and shooting at a super high level with those guns. So something's going on, you know what I mean? And maybe there's some new shooters out there who are thinking about, because you're going to get, let's say, a new shooter or something like that. You're going to get an M&P. You're going to come across like a Gucci trigger and be like, oh, I'm going to save up. I'm going to buy that. They're going to put the new trigger in. They're probably going to realize the stock barrel accuracy is pretty trash. So now it's like, hey, just a warning. This is my experience. It's not everyone's. So be on the lookout type deal. I don't even know if I had a point of that. I feel like I was just a chatty cat.
No, that's what we do here. We just start talking, and hopefully we get to a salient point at some point, but who knows?
We also grade on a curve, so our stream does not have to live up to Focus Strip streams. It's okay that we're a little worse.
Sick. Are they going hard in the chat? Oh, let me read. So
they're mostly just talking about Hop's eyebrows, which is a recurring theme.
It manages to surprise them every time. It's I've looked like this for 35 years, but you never know. Oh, hi, Bones.
Yeah, it's fun. It's kind of funny, like at least from my perspective, I feel a lot like an outsider in this YouTube gig, because everyone's talking about like, oh, people are paying you. People are, you're a brand ambassador, you're getting free products. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. The only people sending me free products are those Amazon, like, scope companies, or wanting to send me stuff. So it's like, what? You guys are getting paid? What the fuck?
Dude, there's circles to it. There's for sure circles, and you can notice them. You can notice them with certain circles because it's almost like a collab circle. Collab, different guy, different guy, different guy. They get back to the same dude. You know what I mean? And again, I don't know, maybe nothing wrong with it, and then they build off of each other's connections and stuff like that. And then if there are certain companies for sure that if they're worried there might be an issue, and then you're willing to say that on camera, they might be a little bit more hesitant to send a product rather than just glazing whatever you got in your hand at the time. That's why I thought it was like, there's some videos of bringing back the RXM, right? I have one. I haven't shot it that much, so I don't have a hardcore opinion, but off the rip, I'm like, I don't really know about this. Like, am I ever going to not buy a Glock and buy that instead if it's, roughly around the same money, depending on what deals you can find?
Yeah, it was kind of my point in the...
Your video on it is vastly different than watching some people who do glaze videos. You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit, those are two vastly different opinions. And you could kind of tell who's glazing and who's not, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was my biggest point because, like, I'm a Glock guy, right? And I feel like if you're buying an RXM, you're trying to at least pretend to be a Glock guy or something to that effect. And the fact that the grip angle is fucked is already a huge issue. So it doesn't matter if the optics plate mount is cool. It doesn't matter if you have this cool trigger pack. Nothing works with the trigger pack right now. Why the fuck would I want a gun with a different grip angle if I'm shooting Glocks, or if I wanted Glocks in the future or anything? So that was a big issue I have with the RXM. Now that can change in the future, but for now it's kind of a weird gun to me.
Yeah, and you can't change out the trigger. Is it compatible with Gen 3s?
Maybe the MR920 should be, but apparently is not.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because it's the SIG 320 where the trigger pack is the serialized part. I'm not 100% sure how that works. I didn't bother changing it out, so I don't know on that.
Are the pins in the approximately the same?
I'm saying that the grip angle is like 19 degrees or whatever it ends up being. I don't know.
Oh, so the grip angle same as Glock, so it's not really anything.
No, it's not the same as Glock. It's closer to an M&P. So
okay,
that's what I think. Maybe
a grip angle is not going to be a selling point for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's
well,
like,
that's what I'm saying. It's a downside to me. Like if I'm buying Glocks and I want a cheap Glock, if this gun is having me on the beep presenting wrong every single time, like that's a weird dynamic. It's still a cool gun conceptually. Like it's not bad, but yeah.
At least it's some sort of kind of innovation, maybe, because that's been pretty lacking, I feel like.
Yeah, I think
I'm probably the worst gun guy in the gun world, because a lot of stuff just don't interest me.
Glocks and Glock competitors is, when a new Glock competitor comes out, it's probably not really targeted at the actual Glock guys because very few people are going to switch from Glock to a Glock clone. But the people who are going to adopt the RXM en masse, nice synchronized drinking, you guys, it's just got people who kind of like the idea of a Glock, but it looks like it's too expensive for the features that they get. And they see the RXM and they're like, hey, it's got a better optics cut system. It's slightly cheaper. It's got some whatever, features that honestly probably don't matter that much, but still look good, like in the brochure in the store. And so their first pistol is an RXM rather than a Glock. And so I don't really care, like if the RXM is better than a Glock per se, but I do find it interesting because I suspect the RXM will cost Glock sales because it will be more appealing as a first purchase to a lot of new gun owners.
Yeah, yeah.
And
then,
Ruger's name, like Ruger is fucking, Teflon coated. Their many improprieties and mistakes never seem to stick to them. So people still love Ruger as a company, and they will be like, "Oh hell yeah, Ruger! Finally, a brand I can trust."
Yeah, yeah. Especially when you have other companies that are doing a worse job in PR that can take the heat off.
Yeah,
yeah. So
somebody mentioned the comment.
Everyone would be raving about Glock again.
Somebody mentioned in the comment section that grip angle is a skill issue. The issue is if your skill is good, you should be presenting very consistently. And when you throw a random gun into the mix, that skill.
If you have skill, grip angle is an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
grip angle is, I don't know, it's one of those, you could train it out, but a lot of dudes, I think, especially first-time buyers, they don't know that much. You know, they might get hyped up on the gun. Like when I first got into guns, get a new gun, cool. I just want to look at it. That's cool. It's in the box. I just bought something cool. But most dudes aren't going to go to the range or even dry fire like a few hundred reps to be like, oh, that's the grip angle, you know? So now you're carrying this gun with this grip angle, or maybe you had a Glock and you had that and you still don't dry fire, and like, bam, you pull it out in Costco and like the only thing you got was the cashier, not the bad guy. You know what I mean?
Or like that the peacekeeper guy at the Utah Kings Day protest who shot like 30 degrees off target and killed some random civilian. Holy crap.
Yeah, dude. Just a Samoa guy.
Now that guy had the wrong grip angle. That guy presented wrong on the draw.
Dude, probably not right.
Do you want to tell that story? We were there for that.
Yeah, we were in. This is just really, really awful timing. But we were. I was visiting Brock. We were doing some shooting, some hanging out, and it was like the last night that we had to go out on the town and just have like a meal or a drink or something like that. And unfortunately, it was no King's Day, and so we kind of like vaguely knew it was happening, but not really. And so we decided to go downtown Salt Lake, just find a place to have a nice drink. And as we get closer and closer to downtown, there's more and more cops and more protesters. And we're like, oh, we picked a hell of a day to try to go out for a nice, quiet drink.
I've had that happen before in Olympia. Went down there, didn't realize it was like a May Day or whatever they call it. You know what I mean? So me and a buddy are just walking down the street and we just hear, back, back, back. And we just look to the left and there's like 80 people all dressed in black, just like, and bangers, whatever they were. Just being set off. We're like, sick. And then my buddy got pepper sprayed because some random chick went up to him and just started like harassing us, dude. And just fucking pepper sprayed his ass. It was so funny. Got out of there.
Well, as we were approaching downtown Salt Lake during this protest, you know, we're sort of moving against the flow of human traffic, and we're getting a little confused about it. And then at some point we hear some pops and a bunch of people are running past us in the opposite direction, just being like, oh, there was a shooting. And Brock and I are like, nah, they heard like a backfire or something, or like somebody set off a firecracker. There probably wasn't a shooting. It's just people being a little bit gun shy. And then later on, we're looking at the news and it turns out there was a shooting.
It was about half a block away from us.
Yeah.
With my favorite fact of all time, Salt Lake city blocks are the biggest city blocks in the world. They're massive, so that's why we could be one block away and not notice a gun.
Yeah, you just check the news later. You're like, sick.
Yeah, we were there. Oh my god, it's like the time that my neighbor in college shot some guy who was trying to break into his house. But yeah, we found a nice quiet bar. We had a nice quiet drink. We went back home. Everything was fine. Yeah, it's a good night. All things considered.
Except for one dude.
Yeah, I haven't actually not checked up on that, but I am curious because the person who did the shooting was a peacekeeper, and we assumed that all those peacekeepers were law enforcement that are off duty, but it's not. They were just like random people hired by the event coordinators to pull security at this event. Very weird. And the real cops, I think, is my understanding of the story. This is, weeks after it had actually happened, so it's not current knowledge, but like, a peacekeeper saw an open carry activist walking out of an alley with an AR, tried to shoot him, hit and killed a bystander, and then everybody involved was tackled by real cops like a couple seconds later, and it cooled the scene down.
I wonder. I'm gonna look that up, dude, because I wonder how off the shot was. You know what I mean? Because now I'm thinking
there's a drone shot of it, and at least from what the drone shot looks like, the guy looks like he's 30 degrees off. It looks like it's the lowest leftist shot anyone's ever taken, ricochet into concrete or something like.
Right, too much firing and pressure. Classic mistake. What a silly
grip angle. Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, it might have
finger grooves.
Might have been that Glock low left sight adjust. Yeah.
They're not regulating sites properly from the factory anymore.
Yeah, the sites are fucked from the factory, yeah.
Dude, I did think that was funny on Trench's video. For some reason, it had me dying when he was, again, not throwing shade at Trench. He's all right.
It's okay. You can throw shade at Trench. Everyone else has for the last 2 weeks.
He's had enough, dude. I'll let him live his life. Man. But when he was just banging the gun on the steel, it was like the worst porno ever. He was just like slapping it softly against the steel, dude. I don't know why. I just thought that was hilarious.
Well, we've strayed off topic a little bit here, but
yeah.
Whatever.
That matters. I think the people probably prefer the off topic to the on topic sometimes.
Do we do a little errands of grievance here? That I think that might be a good thing when talking about YouTube.
I want to do more positivity. I want to shout out some of my favorite creators. You know.
Okay, you do that. I need to pee. I'll be right back.
All right, this will take him about 14
use the
seconds.
one in the van.
Well, I'm in the van, so I need to go a little farther.
He's already on the toilet.
Dude, use the sink. I'll cash up you $5 if you use the sink.
Yeah, so it's 180. They can't see shit. No one's well, whatever.
And then when he's done, you just see him hit the soap thing.
Yeah, a bunch of times. But for some reason, he doesn't rub his hands. Weird.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, just to kill time. Brock is always leaving me alone to like fill time on streams and in videos and stuff. But random channels that I'll shout out. I always love the more historical side of the firearms industry. Caveat, the civilian firearms industry. Like, as much as I love Forgotten Weapons and Ian, military firearms are interesting in kind of like an abstract academical, that's a word I just made up, academic way. But the history of like civilian firearms, carry firearms, like what were people carrying in the 80s, you know?
Yeah.
That stuff is always fascinating to me. So I really like, one of my favorite old channels was a guy called Life Size Potato. And he was a guy who had an extensive collection of very rare guns. And he would put out these videos in extremely high like resolutions. You could get a really good view of these guns. And he would shoot them a little bit. He would talk about the history. They were fantastic videos. And as far as I know, the guy's fully retired. I don't think he's posted anything for like 8 to 10 years or something like that. But yeah, great videos. Also, I think he would like film them on his living room carpet, and he had rabbits or cats or something. So there was just fur all over the place. Fantastic stuff. Love that. And the heir to his channel, I think, is a channel called Gunbelievable, which you should 100% check out. It really is. It's very much like Life Size Potato. It's weird guns that, you know, they were civilian firearms marketed in a bombastic way that probably weren't very good, probably did not succeed. But that's what's cool to me from the historical standpoint. I love to learn about that kind of stuff. And that's a completely different category from like if I'm looking for a new optic, what channels do I want to focus on? That is really just I like to learn. I like to expand my knowledge base about the industry.
That's like, I forget the dude's channel, but I'm not too big into gear, I guess. You know, like I have what I need or I wanted at one point, but there's this one dude and he just he compares camos, and there's not fancy music or anything like that. He'll literally just kind of like put on face paint, the camo, and then he'll just do different scenes where he's hiding in the woods.
Is that Bridge 0331?
I'm not too sure.
That's something that he does a lot. There's obviously multiple channels doing that stuff. There's like a channel called Uniform History that talks about the history of camos and gear.
I've seen that one. That one's sick as well. So that sort of thing interests me, even though I'm not crazy into it, I guess. Like I'm not out chasing the latest Cry combat shirt or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I love the historical. It's kind of funny. It's like I don't give a shit about $400 pants right now, but fast forward 30 years and all of a sudden I'll be like, I want to know about those $400 pants they were wearing back then, Yeah, I do like the history. Once something is old enough to become history, all of a sudden it gets a little more interesting.
Yeah, like I think the coolest.
You're into history, yeah.
Cool.
You just don't want to watch an hour and 30-minute video.
Yeah, you'll send me an hour and a half long video about some fucking boat. Of course, I don't want to watch that. But if somebody can tell me,
it was a good boat, and it's called a ship, good sir.
Whatever. I don't doubt that it was a good boat. I'm just saying that if somebody can, in 9 minutes, tell me why a specific camo pattern was designed and adopted, like I'll eat that shit up. But yeah, a 2.5 hour long video about one of the destroyers in the Pacific Fleet. Nah, come on, I can't.
Brass is just messaging you like, yo, watch this shit float. That's it.
You're like, yes, they tend to do that.
watch this destroyer go fucking 1v10, bitch. That's the shit. Or I send him Alex the OK, which is just an engineer that is literally using a PowerPoint to explain how the fucking fly-by-wire system in Apollo 11 was created.
I'm going to start sending you Black Pants Legion videos so you can learn in 45 minutes all about the fictional chassis of the BattleTech universe.
I would watch that.
Well, you shouldn't because it's not good for you. It's not a good use of your time.
Did you know that Beyblade still has an active and competitive meta where you change the... I didn't know any of this shit still existed, but it turns out there is a vibrant competitive community of Beyblade where they fucking put the things together and certain attachments counter other attachment. So I went on a fucking 6-hour autism infused fucking extravaganza where one piece that was made by the company defeated all other pieces and broke the shit. You guys are missing out. Fuck.
Yeah,
this is like the people that customize Nerf guns.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Love that shit. Also, I do this with Warhammer 40K. Once every 3 months, I spend an exorbitant amount of time watching 2.5-hour extravaganzas about.
I mean, yeah, I consume a lot of BattleTech content for somebody who's never played the tabletop game because it's objectively not a good game. It was never popular enough to get properly balanced, so it's a shitty game. But man, the lore is good.
I'm so glad I like model trains in Warhammer and not whatever autism Brass has.
You're not so different, actually.
You know what's sick is those AI videos that are 2.5 hours long. There's this, I forget, it's like boring history for sleep.
Oh, jeez.
It's just a British dude talking and then they did this and did that. Just like in that tone, the whole video. I'll put that shit on right before I fall asleep. And I'll catch it. Sometimes it's there's a fact. It's nah, that's definitely not true. That's wrong as shit, bro.
That's the problem. You're trying to watch these calming ASMR videos, but when they get the facts wrong, you're like, yeah, I can't sleep now. Someone's wrong on the internet. I have to go fix it.
It's crazy. It's I could listen to that, let's say a boring history ASMR, but if you open a package and call it a tactical unboxing, I'm just gonna delete myself.
Well, him first, then yourself. Yeah. This is a little slightly off topic, but I'm reading all the comments here, and everyone's doubling down on their autism. They're like, that's some terrible autism, but let me tell you about Warhammer 40K.
Tactical unboxing instantly slurs. Yeah. And then you regret giving them the click.
Okay. I saw a comment earlier. This one might be a fun one because, bringing it, feng shuiing it back in. Because Hob keeps wanting to do this video and he refuses to do it, and I think it's kind of an interesting topic. So that I don't remember the exact comment, but it was something to the effect of, a lot of channels are getting more and more hardcore, where they accost you. Here, Hob, take over when you get where I'm getting at with here. This is your video idea after all, but we're all having fun, aren't we? And the more videos you watch nowadays, the more often they seem to be like, hey, have you picked a side yet? You better be picking a side. Hey, are you doing this? If you don't do this, you're fucking dead. And I get it, right? Especially from my channel, which is more on the preparedness sides of things. But I think it's an interesting topic to unpack. And I don't want to fully unpack it because this is very much Hop's idea and he has it fully thought out. He's just completely artistic. So, that video takes 8.5 months to fucking percolate. So
the
you want to take it?
That I posted
you know what I'm getting at?
The 2025 weapon lights video. I have a text document, which I started in late 2023, and I titled it 2024 Weapon Light Meta, and I just finished it most of the way through 2025. I think that, I think it's a combination of, right. There's a lot of lines in the sand being drawn, and if you're not on that side of this, the spectrum, fuck you. If you don't have this, fuck you. And yeah,
Come on, take it from here, you fucking piece.
So you're referring to the idea that anybody who wants to become semi-prepared for something. So the broader preparedness community is bifurcated into a bunch of different like groups of people who have decided what the apocalypse is going to be.
Yeah,
they've started preparing for that apocalypse.
No. Yes, that too, but it's the sort of accosting of the community. Man, this is really falling flat. Goddamn. We have this whole
I mean, you're describing me, but in a way that I don't recognize myself.
Maybe you should just say it. I don't think we're tracking.
Yeah, I don't think that's. Maybe I need to go find that comment again. But
I was drunk when I said that. It's probably not even true.
Whatever. Take it from here.
I don't doubt that it happened. I'm just not totally sure what it is yet.
He's gonna, dude. If he's watching 6 hours on Beyblades, he's gonna find that comment.
I know. Yeah, he's got more lore stored in that noggin of his than I think I could handle right now. Let's see what Bones has to say about this. People who push their gun values and preparedness mindset on others. Well, see, that's what I was talking about, but I think Brock was going for something else.
Maybe I was going, fuck it, take it. But we'll see.
That is a concept that I've had essentially. So like almost everybody is, it's impossible to simultaneously prepare for every single contingency. And there are a lot of channels that are trying to do practical advice. But in order to be practical, you sort of have to define the parameters that you're working with, I guess. Yeah. So if you're like, hey, we're a preparedness channel, you have to say, well, then what we're preparing for is Red Dawn Part 3, and therefore you need to put together a fighting unit with these capabilities. Or no, we're looking at a grid down situation. Or no, we're looking at zombies. And the really fucking sad thing is that 15 years on, it turns out that the zombie preparedness guys aren't really any different than the Red Dawn guys or the grid down guys or whatever. Like it's all just general preparedness. So,
and then how many of the videos, going back to the previous point about making these long videos of just saying the same shit over and over again, or what doesn't need to be said, is a lot of those videos are an hour and a half long, something like that. And it's like, all right. I mean, my thing on like being prepared is like, yo, I don't know if the end of the world happens in any way, shape, or form. Like, cool. I mean, I'm not going to knock guys. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. That's cool, man. But for me, it's like, let's say I ruck and I train and I could hike 20 miles with the weight of the Army's new rifle or something like that. Cool.
I think
I have a family. They didn't do that. Am I just going to dip out? Like, peace out, guys. Like, no, I'm going to be chilling at home. And then I got to worry about a 50-yard shot max. Like,
so I've always appreciated, going back to Nut and Fancy. Like, Nut and Fancy's general thing was sort of like it's a younger man's game to be very interested in the Red Dawn scenario or the zombie survival scenario or whatever. But as a family man, you're like, can't pull that shit off. And
and then what's going to happen? I'm going to, let's say, gather my gear, tell my old lady, peace, like I'll be back when it's all over after I push the Chinese back out, or, whatever scenario it is.
Yeah. North Koreans are dropping on Seattle. I am being called.
Yeah. And then a 60-year-old dude who likes to hunt coyotes just zap me with a thermal, like less than a mile from the house. It's like, all right, that was a lot of YouTube videos I watched just to get dropped in the first hour.
Brock, did you figure out your thing?
No, I tried a little too hard for that one. You can take it from here. I'll jump in.
I fully believe that I probably said that to you at some point.
Eventually I'll get some better internet and I can be a little more coherent.
You want to message Elon Musk on X, dude? I can do that.
Just at Grok, is this true?
Yeah, that's not. I'll tell him I'll do a review on it.
I'll pay $38 a month for Grok Super Heavy and be like, hey, Grok, what was I just thinking of before I came into this room?
Yeah. 38 bucks, dude. How long does a sprained ankle last? Sick. I'm glad I got Grok, dude.
Nice.
So all right, a little side topic. Is Grok behaving again? Last I heard, he got Grok got in trouble when he started getting a little anti-Semitic.
Somebody told me today that one of the ex-AI engineers absconded with a bunch of information, gave it to OpenAI, and just let the
I heard
go.
that. Yeah.
That's not great. I don't know, man. I try to be polite to Grok. Grok's always been good to me. I'm good to Grok. You know, like we have a nice working relationship. Every once in a while, I'll be like, I'm hitting 5 inches low at 100 yards. I got a turret that dials in mil, and I don't know what the fuck that means. Can you please do the math for me? And if you ask Gemini, Google's AI, will try to teach you how to do the math, but Grok just does it for you. And I really fucking hate it when Gemini's like, well, the problem you're trying, really, if you get right down to it, the problem you're trying to solve is this. And I'm like, I don't care. I just need to know how many clicks. Grok is like, here's how many clicks. So, you know, I appreciate that Gemini is trying to set me up for a brighter future, but at least Grok is answering the question I actually asked, which is how many clicks of this 0.1 mil turret do I have to spin in order to get 5 MOA? This has nothing to do with the topic at hand. But
do you already regret coming on this live stream?
I'm chilling, dude. I've been chilling all day. I watched The Mummy and The Mummy Returns, dude.
Oh, like those movies are awesome.
Yeah.
Like the OG? Ah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, OG. Yeah, I don't like, was it the Chinese Mummy? I don't really. Or what? There's the one with Tom Cruise, and there's a previous
There's Mummy
one.
Part 3, which is like made many years after the first two.
Yeah, that's a Chinese
which is in China. Yeah, it's the Chinese Mummy. And then there's the Tom Cruise one, which nobody ever watched. And I never watched the third one.
Life, and it's in China, and I don't know, too much animation and everything.
Yeah, I never watched it. The first two.
So I stopped at The Mummy Returns, dude.
First two are great. Brendan Fraser is awesome.
Brendan Fraser is, yeah.
Yeah, I could probably.
He's looking a little sorry for wear, unfortunately.
This gun stuff is gay. Hop, tell us your favorite battle mech merch.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite battle mech is the Warhawk, but as I said, BattleTech has never been properly balanced, so the game doesn't work. The only good mech in the whole franchise is the Awesome. There's a really awesome trick you can use, pardon the pun. You just read BattleTech lore, and if the lore describes the mech as bad, it's good. Because the lore of BattleTech has never been aligned with the reality, the asphalt realities of the way the tabletop game actually works. They're like, check out this new mech. Oh, what a folly. What a mistake. Oh, what a joke. And then the community that plays the game is like, oh, this is OP.
Admin just sent me a text. So, hello, administrative results. Hello. He says he's in the chat.
I saw him.
I feel so bad for him right now.
Do we pull a focus and just flood the fucking...
Just ad hoc, put a fourth person on screen to cause the bit rate to
go
down
not?
further?
What's the worst that could happen?
It's not like we're doing anything else of value, so yeah, sure.
Yeah, get the...
We're vibing.
Yeah, do you have it? Can you send him a link?
If he wants to get on, we can make that happen. It's just
yeah, I can send him a link. Hey, admin, I'm going to send it to you on Discord. Dude,
maybe he can figure out what the fuck I was rambling about earlier.
You said something earlier. You said something about grievances, and then I think I don't know if that's what was going to lead into the gun channels. Like, I think that's an interesting topic. It's just the different types of gun channels, like putting it out there, and which ones just kind of do shit to do shit because the views roll in no matter what.
Yeah,
you know, it's almost like a low view count forum is like a high view count for everyone else, but it's just like fuck, dude. I don't know. I go on for days, and since we're on YouTube Live, I'll refrain.
Well, let's go on. Let's go on for days. Fuck it.
Let's
take charge here.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back to the grievance point you were going to say. Then is that what we already talked about or spoke about?
Yeah. So that's, I guess, a good point. It's like, is there stuff about the general GunTube community that generally annoys you, or specific stuff that if you see it on a channel, you're like, fuck this guy, I'm not watching, I'm unsubscribing. I'm hitting the do not recommend, whatever. Like, are there deal breakers, I guess, for YouTube?
Oh yeah, I mean, one for me, just for a video, I take it personally when it's like super clickbait. You know, there's a certain amount that everyone does to get people to want to watch the video, but when it's just over the top and I'm sitting there and kind of like I brought up on Focus Trip, and it was like, oh yeah, so it turns out the Supreme Court didn't say anything like that. You know, it was like, here's 10 minutes of my life. Or for me, because I'm so into pistol shooting, I feel like a lot of dudes, especially when I've had this conversation with a lot of competition dudes or just dudes that have shot a bunch. You look like you should be coming from the Eastern Steppe or something, dude. What that beard is going.
That's a little
Alhamdulillah, my friend. Habibi, come to Arizona by John. You will have great time.
You look like that guy on Instagram, Alex Venasio.
Oh yeah, you look like an alpha male, dude.
Oh, do I really?
Yeah, you should do a skit where you're about to fight yourself, but you never throw a punch.
I would actually get folded by myself in a fight, dude. I'd get jacked up.
Because you go in for a kiss and he'd go in for a punch, and
some guys think they can fight. I know I can't fight, dude.
You can fight.
That's why I like guns. Real quick, I want to address the elephant in the room. Brass made me buy a fluctuator. Now I'm gay. I don't think you guys saw my comment.
Yeah, very gay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Happen.
Well, fortunately, it's a self-solving problem where the flux will eventually detonate and kill you. So, you know, it's only a matter of time now.
Inshallah, God wills it. That'd be kind of sick, dude.
I have dibs on that video. I killed admin results. What's up?
Well, you want to be the first to try.
Yeah.
You're welcome, YouTube. Now you don't have to outcompete him.
It's true. This is a fair point. What we covered so far, catch me up.
So we've been talking about
bottlenecks,
gun YouTube that we watch, the gun YouTube that we enjoy and do not enjoy.
Did we get the Carnicon yet?
We have not, although I have. I kind of noticed that Charlie sort of looks like the twin brother.
Oh, who?
Of you are Carnicon reincarnated, although of course he's still around.
All right, I gotta look up a picture.
I think
there's a familial resemblance. I think
my theory is that if
he's
you
jacked,
stuck around, he would have been one of the biggest on the platform, hands down.
If what?
If
he kept up the momentum.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, he was killing it. Yeah, like really early, like FPS Russia days almost, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to look this up right now, dude. What type of stuff did he do?
Well, so originally Carnicon was. I mean, so Dugan Ashley wrote for. I think he wrote for like Recoil magazine at some point. Like yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he is handsome. That makes sense. I can see why I look like him.
Exactly. Dashing gentleman of similar beard structure. That's really all it is, I think.
Yeah. His machine gun special is like a work of art. It goes down in the Hallmark history books of just fantastic YouTube.
Ham sandwich.
Yeah. His AK music video, still amazing.
I gotta watch some of those videos, dude.
If you haven't seen any OG Carnicon, it's truly a work of art.
Yeah, I might be tripping.
There was a golden era that we'll probably never get back to because YouTube is never going to be as free as it once was. Like there was Matt V 2099. A couple weeks ago, I think one of Matt V 2099's channels or results or something uploaded a video of him microwaving a bunch of 22 long rifle, and the video looks like it was filmed, 14, 15 years ago, and somehow it just went public randomly to a channel that's been otherwise dead for the last, conceivable couple of years. But
right. Brock, how's this help us out in the SHTF?
The Carnicon or the van or the
microwaving?
Making a Glock into a pan of brownies.
How
does that fall to your preparedness?
I need the hard assessment, crush the numbers.
Well, okay, so calories are calories in a shit hit the fan scenario, and it turns out we bought a lot of guns, but we didn't buy a lot of food. Well, this is the life hack that gets you to turn your guns into food. There you go. You're welcome. You can just buy guns.
That's facts. India's been on that eating plastic game for years, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So we have heard that plutonium has a lot of calories, but gunpowder surely must have a lot of calories as far as the energy measurement goes, right?
Yeah, so think about it. Like the people that are like carry ammo versus the people that like carry water and food and supplies, sustainment. It's the same group. If you just carry ammo, you are carrying food and sustainment. You just need a 120 volt microwave.
Okay. Yeah, I'm tracking.
Yeah.
Or just magnifier in the sun. That'll do it.
Should I switch over? I can actually switch over to real internet now.
If you want to attach yourself to some real internet, I'm sure it wouldn't hurt at this point.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'll take me about 2-3 minutes.
But yeah, we got classic gun tubers. Some of them were forced out due to legal things like FPS Russia.
Yeah,
Kyle is. I don't think he's quite got his rights restored. I want to say maybe he has, or maybe he's just not going to risk it. Obviously, we got Cokeman. Cokeman, still a legend. The only person I've ever seen just effortlessly bump fire an AK-74 from the shoulder. That's a trip. But what are we like?
That just kind of.
Yeah, the three of us are probably like 4th gen YouTube, I think, at this point.
I think so, yeah. There was the OG days where it was like the Wild West. You can get away with whatever you want. Now it's like, I watched this guy's video where you go through, there are people that will report your video, and it's like a manual reviewer. I saw like 2 of my channels pop up on this guy's video about it. It was US Airsoft. And it's like these dudes get paid by a third party interest company by YouTube to literally scrub through these videos. I don't know if you guys saw this, but for the crowd watching, and it's like you're just living in like this weird 1984 Orwellian dystopian like platform where they're just trying to like make sure that everything is just corporate sanitized for sponsorships, pretty much, from these companies buying ads.
Yeah.
So yeah, YouTube is it's a barely functioning entity. I think like how much bandwidth they're pushing, whatever the stat is, that like hundreds of hours of YouTube get uploaded every minute. Like obviously they're not going to be able to manage all of that with American employees who have an understanding of YouTube's policies, first of all, and American firearms law second. Like that's just not going to happen. So you get a combination of AI and just dirt cheap Pakistani outsourced labor who are expected to determine if this video violates YouTube's terms of service. And they just can't get it right. They just don't know.
I'd almost prefer like the Pakistani people reviewing it, because I feel like if there's someone just at like San Francisco, we've talked about this before, Admin, like reviewing gun stuff, obviously, if they don't like it, right? Whereas a dude in Pakistan is just like, I don't care. Just
would you rather have the tech employee from San Francisco or the single mother of 9 from Pakistan reviewing your video, deciding if like that drum magazine violates TOS or not?
Right, for them it's normal.
I approve this video for Pakistan.
Because that guy in California is going to be like, well, we can't be having any of this. But that woman in Pakistan, it's a 50-50 shot, because she probably just spends her entire day just going yes, no, just to get through it. Yeah. She's got a queue. She's got 2,000. She's got to get through in a 5-hour shift.
They have only 5 minutes per video. 5 minutes. That's it. And then they move on to the next.
Where do you get this inside info?
And some of these videos.
There was a whole video by US Airsoft on this, dude.
All right, I gotta watch that later.
Give it a look. He's just more plugged in than we are. He's paying more attention.
Listen, I hate working a 9 to 5. That's why I like to do YouTube. So I try and cover all my bases, dude.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Fair.
9 to 5 is usually when I sleep these days.
That's impressive. I'm proud of you, Hop.
I'm trying to make it work, but man, it's not working.
I was watching your weapon light video. I started it, but I'm at like a family thing right now. And what shows the autism involved, it's like, dude, just get off the phone. But I just can't, because I'm addicted to Hop's beautiful face. And I didn't see, you ever come across Hop, the stream light, the big ass like mag light? It's like a chonky, I think it's a stream light. But it's like, it's definitely not a weapon mounted light, dude. But I think that could be the meta. I feel like you didn't cover it, knowing you.
and just take
Well, I edited that. That video started out as like 30 minutes long. I covered every brand that's currently doing shit, and I pared it down to a couple. Are you talking about that version of the TLR1 with the massive trumpet lens on the front?
I think so. Yeah. No. I'll have to find it, but I remember messing around with it, and I actually was able to mount it, to like top mount it to a gun or bottom mount it. It's goofy, but it's actually pretty hilarious.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, Streamlight makes some interesting stuff. There's the Surefire. What's it called? The Hellfighter. It's that massive brick of a light that they attach to miniguns.
Oh shit! This could be also the meta. This could work.
I don't know how you'd use it. You know, it's like those machine gun holographic sights that are like a big ass heads up display this big around. You put that and one of those Hellfighter lights on there. Ooh, you could have a real interesting in place weapon.
Am I getting robo voice? Chat's calling me a clanker.
You do sound like a bit of a clanker right now, but that's
okay.
Yeah. Beep up. 110101 activation code for my clankers in the chat.
Just say activation Ronald McDonald and you're already back in their good graces.
Ronald McDonald. Oh shit. All right, that's fine. That works. I guess I'm ruining the chat. I'll go. I'll bounce out. I just want to come in and crash and say hi.
Yeah. Well, thanks for dropping in. Have fun with the family.
All right, peace out. Yeah, but anyways, one channel I don't watch is like admin.
Yeah, I don't like that channel. The other channel where he talks about movies, even worse.
Oh yeah, where he pretends to be an orc and like how to take over Chicago or something like that.
He's like, guys, I like the movie Heat. Nah, you don't. You don't appreciate it on as many levels as I do.
All right, where were we before the clanker?
Welcome back, Brock.
Hey. Nah, you're lying.
Nah, he's busted. Because you're on a different computer. You got to set your mic again.
No, we can hear you.
No sound?
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
You can hear him, but I can't. What the fuck is happening? This app is not doing a whole lot to earn its $17 a month. There it is. We got him.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
$17 a month for this. Come on,
dude. I was trying to see how long you would go. How long you'd go? That's not a guess. How long you would go?
You were doing
just talking. Just
43 seconds at the best. We have this tracked.
Oh Lord.
All right,
well, admin sure does know how to derail a conversation.
What the fuck were we talking about? I missed all of it, though.
I don't know. As soon as he showed up, all I could see was his beard, and I was like,
just beard.
It's a big beard. Yeah.
What is happening?
No, I think we're talking about like I think we started or took a dive into we're talking about the camo stuff and then the reviews. That was the last thing.
I think it was airing of grievances. Shit you hate, basically. Shit you hate. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's one thing is after shooting, competing, and all that stuff is when I watch a pistol video and it's like, no, that's stupid. That's stupid. Like they're just saying wrong stuff. Or like videos where it's just 5-yard bill drill. Oh, that's sick. This gun is sick. That's awesome. 5-yard bill drill. You know, I think, what was it? When the Glock love and hate video I did is literally the intro is just making fun of that. Just full kit, 2 yards. You know, and a lot of dudes will do it when they review a gun. It's just.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that on the internet where somebody has set the standard for very cinematic. What the fuck?
Yeah.
This certain cinematic intro of. Well, that's creepy. Of shooting at nebulous distances, maybe between 2 pieces of wood, very fast with slow motion.
Yeah.
And now that's everything, and it's the most infuriating shit where I'm shooting genuine drills at like 100 yards, trying to hit like offhand steel, stuff like that, shooting at small things, and people are like, I've seen I've watched a YouTube video in my time. That's slow as fuck, idiot. And it's like, oh, God.
Yeah, because it's not sexy. It's not super cool and super fast, and you're not.
It turns out 0.2, 0.15 splits don't work at most real target distances or even, match distances, right? So
yeah, like it would have to be just like the YouTube videos, like 7 yards in as fast as you can blow it. Like you're not even picking up the dot; it's just an attack target. You're just whap, and then hope you got 2 alphas. Whereas, that shit that drives me insane, and that kind of leads me away from channels, from watching them at all. And then it's like, okay, well, you showed me you got fast splits, dude. That's it. That's all I learned.
The difficulty where channels, featuring guys who are actually pretty good at shooting end up looking like they can't shoot based on channels that just lie about how good they are at shooting. Where it's all these guys just like shooting really, really, really fast at targets off screen versus guys who are actually shooting at real targets. And you're like, man, I can tell you can't shoot because you're not as fast as that other guy. Like,
oh yeah, you got one
compete with that other guy because that other guy doesn't have targets set up. He's just engaging minute of berm in 3 different random arbitrary positions.
Notional targets. Like, oh, fuck yeah.
Like, if I was gonna set up targets, I'd put one right there. So, bang.
Do you guys think it'll switch? Do you think there'll be like people migrating away, especially from the Trump slump, right? In the gun industry, it's kind of the Trump slump. People, like, especially if you're in it, and I don't even think you have to be in it, is a lot of people aren't buying like they were during the pandemic or something like that, Like they're not going crazy and just buying everything off the shelf or whatever it is. Now people might be thinking about it. Do you think there's going to be a switch from either it has to have legit information in it or it has to have some sort of actual shooting, not just here's 3 targets, here's a target, quick shooting, and that's it. You know what I mean? Just like a glaze.
I mean, it's hard to show, right? It's really hard to show especially for like channels like mine and Hop, where we're tripod based most of the time. It's really hard to show genuine shooting. So our footage looks good, but you can't tell what we're shooting at. And sometimes,
but at the same time, you have information that you're putting out. I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say you guys don't think about the videos, right, or the information.
Hopefully, I guess that's kind of the goal. Is like, hopefully we include enough actual evidence of shooting prowess that people can be like, oh, okay, I can take this guy somewhat seriously. Every once in a while, they show receipts. It doesn't have to be every single time. That's also one of those things where, like the weapon light video that I just did, where it's like, man, it's so hard for me to get footage of weapon lights being used. Like, hopefully I've built up enough goodwill that you can trust my opinions on these weapon lights, even though I can't really show you them in use because it's a black screen and then a big white circle shows up and then it goes away again. It's back to a black screen. It's like, that doesn't prove anything. So we're just going to talk about these lights and hopefully you trust me. Same thing with like shooting standards or whatever, It's like every once in a while, I'll try to do my best to show you like a 1-take drill or something like that, or like we'll show you some real shooting. And the rest of the time, it's like I am the cameraman and the producer and the talent,
and the editor.
So it's pretty tough to get as much coverage as I'd like when it's possible. When I am shooting with a group, we try to get better footage that proves stuff, and then hopefully, you have some goodwill.
Speaking of this is our biggest gripe or frustration. Since Charlie, you do a lot of like competition based footage, right? Or competition oriented videos, right?
I kind of, sort of. I definitely think there's a lot of that. The way I like.
Well, it's not. So to be sure, my gripe isn't that it's competition stuff.
Yeah.
The difficulty of filming competition stuff, because it's all competition footage looks the same because it's a retard with a cell phone trying not to break the 180 and all that stuff. Well, a lot of times we can have a camera down range and all that stuff. That's why you don't see as much competition footage, because Hop does a decent amount of competition. I do a good chunk of competition, but it all looks like fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
So a lot of it.
There's also people being like, I found your practice score. You're not that good. And I'm like, which practice score? Because every time I go to an event, they're like, hey, I put you in the practice score as XYZ. And I'm like, good enough, bro.
Yeah. It's
I've got like 6.
It does. It all looks the same. You know what I mean? And I think on the channel there's one. It's like, is USPSA scary? I think that's the only one where it's like filming a match. And the goal with that wasn't to film the match, but like the vibes at the match. Because there's a lot of dudes I was getting messages from that were like, I got to train up and take classes and do all this to shoot a match. And it was like, literally, let's just make a video showing it's not that serious. You can be as serious as you want to be. No one's going to be a dick. No one's going to bring up your practice score you're at the match or watch a video and be like, oh, you're dog shit. Unless you do like USPSA Stolen Valve. You know what I mean? But it was to show the vibes, because if you were to just show matches, nothing but matches. So like the angle I try to take with a lot of videos and is if I'm learning, there's a lot of shit I don't know, man. So like the long range video is like, there's a ton of stuff in long range. Ultimate goal is to try and make a series out of it where dudes can like start at this video and just go through the videos and let's just pick 3 things. And I don't know shit. So I had a buddy come out. Here's 3 simple things. I feel like I ask a lot of dumb questions that maybe other people might have those same questions, but they almost feel like they'll get shit on if they ask it to the wrong guy, you know? So it's like, here, maybe I can ask it because I don't give a shit. I've been on camera plenty of times with crappy hits. My practice score is very public. I've had a ton of bad matches. Like, how about I learn? I'll try and ask the questions. And then if people can later on go to the video, they're like, oh, okay. I didn't know that about calling wind or how to even pick up a target when I'm not just super sucked into the scope, something like that. So that's kind of like the angle. It's not just USPSA. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, hey, I'm learning. This is what I don't know. Maybe there's a ton of people that don't know that same stuff.
We do fall into that little trap sometimes where you're like, hey, this is a new thing that I'm learning. And if you include your bad drills, right? Like you're trying to like practice a skill or whatever, and you include your bad reloads, people are like, that guy can't fucking reload. Yeah. And you're like, that was early on, and then I got better, and look at me now. But like that doesn't matter, because it's like, oh, no, I saw a clip of you reloading badly. And you're like, well, again, what standard are you being judged by? Because there are people out there who are probably going to just post the highlights. They're going to post one like 2-second clip of them nailing a reload. And that's the only reload you've ever seen them do. You think that they just were born? They just came out of the womb doing a 1-second mag change from a battle belt? Like, probably not. They probably had some shaky reloads. You just didn't see them, so you assume that they're just this golden god of mag changes or something like that.
Yeah. So like
there is no real standard, so everybody's just judged on what they're willing to put on camera.
Whatever fastest.
We're very verbose. We talk a lot. We don't stand in front of the camera, so we have to cover a lot of what we say with B-roll. So we got to use everything, including the not good stuff. So we end up looking pretty shitty.
Yeah, and then there's dudes who like put it out there as like gospel. You know what I mean? I just ran that build drill in sub 2 seconds, and this is gospel, and this is how I do it. So like the next video we're filming this week is like, there's a lot of stuff I don't know, and I'm very fortunate. Like I'm around shooters who do know, they have that experience. So bringing them on camera, kind of like with the long range, and we're doing like a fundamentals video, and one part of it is gonna pertain to like grip. And right now my grip is super shitty, and it wasn't amazing to begin with. So it's like, oh, right now I'm kind of hurt. This is great because homeboy's gonna show up. He has the skills. I'm gonna shoot. I got shitty grip. It's obviously going to suck. And then he's going to show the grip, and we're going to talk about it. You know what I mean? And kind of pick stuff up. And it's really not gospel at all, as far as like, it has to be this way. There's so many things that get put out there by dudes. Just because you have X amount of followers doesn't make it right, or that it has to be that way. I remember first time I shot with someone way back in the day who had like 50K Instagram followers. I was like, oh, he's going to be good. He's going to be a good shooter. And it's like, nah, dude. And then he just got kind of upsetty spaghetti when he was sucking. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, range day over? Like, this is pretty good.
I have all sorts of gripes with the concept of using competition shooting as the only barometer for performance or for validity. Like, there's so much wrong with that idea. But at the end of the day, it's still a really cool thing to do. And it's not going to be bad for you. Like, there's just no chance that going out, spending time shooting with with friends and getting exercise in the sunlight. There's just like no way that's gonna like make your life any worse. So of course, I'm on board with it. But
it's an end all be all. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's just what I got into and what I know. You know what I mean? Just like night vision. So after I did a video, after Fetsy and I, we did a video on night vision or the rifle, right? Like, you don't need to buy all this stuff. You're not going to die if you don't have something on the rifle. It's like, I don't even use it. I'm going to take it off. I'll put it back on when we do a video where I'm learning the ins and outs of it. And that's not going to be in a competition setting, you know? So it's like, it's definitely not the end all be all, because you could definitely sound like a prick for sure. Like, I think about that sometimes, like, damn, I could be harping on that too much. You know what I mean? Just like if one guy just strictly approached it from nothing but CQB, this is it. That's all that matters, you know?
Yeah. I'm looking through the. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of a lot for me USPSA shooting. Unfortunately, like with the channel and how much I have to shoot for every single video, I'm only really averaging about one match every 2 to 3 months. But it's been kind of fun because I'm super competitive. So every time I go to a match, I get fucking pissed as shit when I don't perform as consistently as I'd like to. But it's something I've been bullying Hop into getting into these matches, and we got him into 1 or 2. But
I've one thing that I've noticed every time I've done these things, and it's very infrequent for me because it's not the thing I'm interested in. But it does seem like pretty consistently the top performers are also the guys arguing about their score after their stage. They go up to the guy with the iPad and they're like, "You made sure to give me that bonus, right? You made sure to, score that, whatever." And then when I've gone back and looked at my practice scores that came out of events that I've been to, I'm like, oh, they accidentally put my time down as twice what it actually was. And I just didn't think to ask. Like, I got done with the stage. They're like 180 seconds. I was like, cool. I go back to the footage. I'm like, wait, that was 90 seconds. Oh, but they started the timer early and then we reset it's like weird shit happens. And you're like, I don't fucking care. So I don't argue about it. The guys who care, it's part of your job as a good competition shooter is to you have to advocate for yourself. You got to be like, you didn't fuck me over, right? Because it's really important to me that I did well on this stage. It's not at all important to me if I did well on that stage. So I just leave. As they're they're calling out the time and I'm already like loading mags. Yeah,
it's an interesting dichotomy. Chris, Chris, the guy that smokes an entire pack when you show up.
Oh, when I show up, yeah, because I'm a bad influence. Normally, I've been led to believe
usually
he doesn't smoke.
He
doesn't smoke until I'm there.
Yeah, and then he smokes an entire fucking triple pack in an evening. He went to a match and everyone was arguing the entire time, like, actually, statute 13.72 says the circle on the thing with, and then you go to some matches and I think it's a lot less of that. So I
got a rule idea. If you have to argue over the line break, it wasn't a line break. So no. If you're like, what, did that break the line? If you're asking, did that break the line? Then it didn't break the line. So shut the fuck up.
That's funny now because there's a big argument about that, and like they're allowing video. So if you had like a head cam or something like that, and you could just cut out the argument and be like, "Yeah, check it out. Like, I never pointed the gun at your face." And it depends on what club, dude. Because I don't know if I would want to hit that club every time if everyone's just trying to.
It depends on the squad. It depends on if you get all the old fucks or the young fucks.
Like Luke and I did one that they had designed this entire series of stages for 3-gun, and then they had tried to adapt it for 2-gun, and it didn't work. The numbers were all fucked up. So everybody who shot 2-gun just timed out or ran out of ammo like in the first half of the stage and couldn't finish anything. And it was like, this didn't work. Like the translation between 3 and 2 just didn't happen. And so everybody who shot 2-gun had a really horrible time. And it was like, or not me. I had a great time because I was running around and shooting and it was raining just a little bit, just the right amount. So I didn't get a heat stroke and I had a jacket. So I was fine. Like I had a really great day hanging out with my buddies and shooting guns. But like, if you looked at the practice score afterwards, you'd be like, wow, 2-gun shooters are a bunch of chumps because none of them could finish the stage. Whereas all these Chad 3-gunners, man, they smoked it. It's just because the translation didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that. Just, I think I would have been put off by it. You know what I mean? If people were just arguing. Now, every once in a while, if you want to argue for yourself, cool, I guess, something like that. But if everyone's just arguing, luckily, I'm not an amazing shooter, so I never have to argue for first place. I never have to argue for second place. You know what I mean? So it's pretty chill. Brassfacts. Oh, I didn't see the comment.
Who the fuck is Miles Teller?
Oh,
Miles Teller was in the movie Only the Brave, and he was in Top Gun 2 as the young guy. He's Goose's son, whose name is like, I don't know, Duck or something, probably.
I have a grievance to ask the panel about. All right, Bones, let's hear it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, now we're waiting. What the fuck?
Well,
Bones?
he's got to type it. Also, remember, we're on a little bit of a tape delay. Bones, you're fucking us, brother. Dead air is terrible.
No,
How do you all feel about really high budget GunTube? That's a good question.
That's
you guys want to go?
Who wants to take it?
So I'll start it. So, okay, this is part of the thing of having a team. We talked about this, I think, before the show started. It's like, you know, if you want to put together a really high quality product, and especially if you want to do it on a realistic time schedule. This is the second time he's peed in an hour and a half. Disgraceful. That is a weak bladder right there. Anyway, if you're trying to put together a high budget YouTube channel and you're trying to have a consistent upload schedule, you're probably going to end up needing a team, which means you're going to need a dedicated camera guy or two. You need an editor, you know, going to need all this sort of stuff. But then that means you got to pay those people, and then you have to be a little bit less judicious in the sponsorships that you take, right? You're going to have to get more revenue, and YouTube views alone cannot drive enough revenue to pay for the multiple camera guys, the editor, you know, everybody, a second personality. You know, if you want to have a really good YouTube channel, it's not going to be hosted by one guy. You got to have somebody else there as a foil to bounce it off of. So now you're paying like 2 presenters, a cameraman or 2, and an editor. Your team has just gone from 1 to 5 people. You have no choice but to take the War Thunder sponsorship in order to pay for all those guys.
Maybe we should be taking a War Thunder sponsorship, given how much.
I kind of like that game. Vintage. He has more hours in the game than me, so I guess until I outpace him, I'm not allowed to take one of those.
Yeah, I think that high budget stuff, that's a ex Umbras hat, but it's really weird, man, because I've seen a couple different sides of GunTube world, right? So like myself and Fetsy, who do the channel, we just saved up to get a lens, and we both have full-time jobs. You know what I mean? So then you got dudes who, I feel like they get to a certain point and it's about, all right, what are you going to pay me? That's the bigger question. What is this random company that has nothing to do with guns? What are they going to pay me? Or even if it has something to do with guns, what are you going to pay me? What are you going to pay me? And you know, the high budget ones, I guess they could afford it. They could afford multiple cameras. They could afford crazy cameras. They could do all this stuff on top of multiple homes or whatever it is. And that's not necessarily bad. If you're going to get your money, right? It's not like communist China. But I also think of it in like a lifestyle sense, is a lot of them just turn out to be pieces of shit. So, you know, and I don't know, it's crazy. I don't want to say I'm weary of a super high budget one, but sometimes you can put the pieces of the puzzle together. I feel like.
I think there is some relatability there, for sure, and that's something I tried to, especially if you do it full time and you do it for a couple of years, as me and Hop have sort of, you know, gone into. We've quit our jobs. You know, Hop used to do something, I used to do something, and at some point we made the jump to do this full time. And you know, you got to be really careful not to lose relatability and stuff like that, because as it becomes a job, it becomes more and more justifiable to spend ludicrous amounts of money on bullshit.
Yeah.
You can shoot. I can shoot twice a week, right? And the thing that's limiting me from shooting twice a week is my willingness to go shooting twice a week. And a lot of times they're like, "Oh, why aren't you training, you fucking stupid piece of shit? Like, why aren't you A class or whatever, M class?" And it's like, well, that's not practical for people that can do this full time. And then from a firearms perspective, you know, our standard changes because we can afford to spend more, and that's something at least me and Hop have to fight with constantly, is trying to maintain that relatability by, you know, we have this, I wouldn't say an unlimited budget. It's not even close to an unlimited budget, but we have money that isn't really our money anymore. It's dedicated to creating more money by running the channel. So,
because you guys, right, Brass, we were talking about this when we're DMing each other. That sounds kind of sus, but about
those pictures were really nice.
You guys keep your ads the same, right? If there's ads, you guys haven't strayed to those weird video games or colleges or engagement rings or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So my thought with that is, like, I have to be willing to, like, fall for my own ad, so to speak, right? Like, like the ad has to be something I believe in, because everyone talks about it's like, hey, I'm just paying the bills, I'm just getting the bag. But at the end of the day, there is a noticeable conversion. If there wasn't a conversion, people wouldn't be fucking paying for these goddamn ads, right? So there is a conversion. Some fucker is going to buy whatever I'm talking about in the ad. So I have to obviously believe to a degree in either the company or the product in the ad in order to do the ad. Otherwise, I don't want to do the ad, because the whole point of the Brassfacts YouTube channel is, you know, in 2014, 2016, whatever it was, I watched GunTube videos and I wanted to find a product that I like. And I watched one too many videos where I spent from my very limited budget on X product. And it turns out, you know, they did one of those one-day shoots, right? And they did not give me the full picture. And I burnt 6 months of my, you know, budget, you know, a year budget, whatever. And that shit fucking sucks. And I'm just a rando, right? What if it was a cop? What if it was a military dude? Right. And the same thing applies to my ads, right? Obviously, I have to make ends meet. Obviously, I have to make a certain amount of money to run the fucking channel, but I don't want to screw people out of money, right? So that maybe Ridge Wallet isn't screwing you out of money, but certainly a HelloFresh thing is a complete waste of fucking money. Or, you know, so I have to actually believe in the ad. And then, unfortunately, that does mean, you know, we get paid a little less, but that's okay. I like to be able to sleep with myself at night, right?
Yeah,
and that's something we always get comments about. Like, a lot of people will post comments saying, you know, these are obviously ardent supporters. They'll post comments being like, "Hey, man, we don't mind if you do a War Thunder ad or a Raycon earbuds ad or whatever." And it's like, yeah, but here's the problem. Your perspective on that is like, hey, anybody who actually clicks on that and follows through, well, like, that's their fault, you know.
But people click through.
Sucks to be that guy. It's like, well, but the ideal outcome is that I do a Raycon ad and literally nobody buys a Raycon earbuds, because I haven't tried them. I don't want to slander a company I've literally only heard of, like, on YouTube ads, but whatever. I've never used a Raycon earbud. I have never wanted to buy them. So, you know, it doesn't pass my 3 criteria for a sponsorship, which is it has to be relevant, not a ripoff, and something that I would personally want to use. So yeah, like, if a single person falls for one of these bullshit ads, whether it be SDI, War Thunder, even War Thunder, a game I like, terrible game, don't play it. If a single person follows through on that, that's bad, and I would not want to be part of that. You know, even if the majority of my audience is savvy enough to understand that I'm just doing that because they're paying me and that they know they shouldn't click through. Also, if you did an ad read for one of those sketchy companies and literally there was 0 conversion, nobody in your audience was dumb enough to fall for it, well, they would not pay you for a second one. So it's a one and done anyway, and that's not really a needle mover in terms of your personal finances, you know, getting that one-time payday from an ad. So it just doesn't seem like it's worth it. And then, you know, every once in a while you got to explain to your mom. She's like, how come you're not rich yet? And you're like, well, because, you know, I don't know if these companies are really all that stand up. and it's a hard sell to your parents.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think even the like being in the space, doing something new, especially just kind of what channel is less than a year old, is figuring that out. Obviously, there are more sketchy ones, right? But even ones you think are cool, because then it's like, oh, okay, you kind of realize they're trying to get theirs too, and they will talk a big talk like, oh, we solved this problem. This doesn't happen anymore. It's all good. And it's like, you find out it's not. And then, cool, you just pushed a bunch of people towards a company or whatever it was. And it's like, fuck, dude, that sucks. You know,
yeah, the fact that a lot of big YouTube sponsors last a couple of years and then some big expose comes out and it's like, oh, it turns out that was a scam. It was selling data or there was a data, whatever. You're like, okay, well, obviously I don't want to be the kind of person who doesn't do my research and accidentally pushes people towards something garbage. I don't want to, just thematically, I don't want to be like, hey, welcome to my gun channel. Here's an ad for headphones.
Yep.
Doesn't make any, this just doesn't fit. That's weird.
Or a mattress, and then it's
like,
very
hey, you guys like to sleep, right? I like to sleep. What if we all got mattresses together and then we slept like crazy?
This is really soft.
What does that have to do with anything? I think Brock and I would both happily take like a legit ammo sponsorship, because ammo is one of those things where the prices high or low never go that much beyond any like reasonable threshold. Ammo is useful. Everybody needs it. They should all be buying it and shooting it for practice and for, stockpiling. It's hard to get an ammo sponsorship, man, like a real one where they either send you the amount of ammo that you need. It's not, I don't know. There's not a lot of people with, I don't think, legit ammo sponsorships where it's like this sponsorship covered all the ammo in this video. It seems like a lot of the time it's, they gave me a couple boxes. Or as Nothing Fancy would always say, shout out to Federal for giving me a couple boxing of ammo. Like they gave me,
so
4 20-round boxes.
But we're on the fucking bottom tier in terms of what we can get out of sponsors. So.
We are also, we're probably one of the worst deals, because we're going to be like, well, first of all, we need 1,000 rounds because we need to shoot a lot of ammo. And second of all, our channels aren't big enough to really provide you that turnaround. Whereas probably, these ammo sponsors are like, no, I could give this other guy 200 rounds and then his 500,000 subscribers will all come by for me. Versus you guys, I'm supposed to give you guys 1,000 rounds and then your 100,000 subscribers come to me. No thanks.
Yeah, and it's also that, and what is the company about? So like we're very fortunate to, like, at HSL for the past couple of videos, there's sponsorship, right? But the first thing before anything happened is like called the owner. And it was right off the rip. It's a 2.5-hour conversation. And like even 30 minutes of that was like, we're just talking about dogs. You know what I mean? Because dogs are dope. And if you don't think so, then leave. But that, and it's also like, hey, this is what this channel is about. We don't do gun bunnies. Not into that. Cool. You're on the same page. Stuff like that. So, but that, it didn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? Because also, what happens if you do take an ammo sponsor from a random, let's say small or medium or whatever it is, because this company looks really cool, they're really popular on Instagram, or they might be really popular on X, and then I got 1,000 rounds, and it was every 10 rounds I was getting a light strike or something like that, and it wasn't the gun. So it's like, we're fortunate enough to have that company kind of back us and send the ammo, because that was one of the things, like, hey, want to shoot a lot, don't want to shoot 100 rounds per video. And it worked out. But there's so many that aren't like that, whether it be, no matter what it is, Hop, would you take a PSA sponsor if it came with a couple thousand rounds of AAC 5.56, or is that too far down the shit product hole?
This is an extremely tough call, because I buy Brassfacts, I think, as well. We both buy and shoot a fucking lot of AAC ammo because it's pretty much the cheapest ammo you can get a lot of the time for certain.
Oh no, I'm out. But
you stopped? Okay, well, I'm still buying a lot of AAC and shooting it. So like, if they offered me ammo, I'd be like, hell yeah, that's the ammo I was going to buy anyway. Oops. There we go. So yeah, like the ammo sponsorship side of that, I don't think I would object to. The problem is that PSA is a very large company who's doing a lot of stuff, and they're almost always involved in something I want to review. And I think I misquoted my 3 personal rules for sponsorships. One of them is that it has to be something that I'm not going to review, or if I take the sponsorship, I can't review it anymore. So, right? Like I'm not going to post a review of a venture surplus product, which is easy for me because they don't have anything. What am I going to do? Like a taste test of MREs? That's just a shitpost video for our C channel. I'm not actually reviewing any of their products. So it's easy to do that versus like, can I take an AAC sponsorship and then be like, hey, the new, the Jackal 2.0 is out and I wanted to buy one and review it. Well, now I can't because they're my sponsor, conflict of interest. Like, so I don't think I wouldn't have a problem with an AAC Embo sponsorship in a vacuum. It's just that personally, it would close the door for me to a lot of reviews that I want to do. And then, yeah, PG's pointing out, why is Hop Munitions not sponsoring Hop? I don't know. They should reach out. That seems like a match made in heaven. I don't know. If I can't pull a Phoenix Ammo sponsorship, I would settle for Hop Munitions.
More next, dude.
Yeah, it all ends up being an interesting conversation of like conflict of interest, bias, and all that. And that's one of the things. Okay, speaking of airing of grievance, I fucking hate when I see that in a video where it's like, hey, they sent me a gun and 2,000 rounds of ammunition, but you know us, we're unbiased here on XWZ channel, so on and so forth. And that is the complete misunderstanding of what bias is. Bias is inherently subconscious, right? So you can be aware of biases and try to mitigate it, but biases are always bias. And my favorite example of bias is not even free guns, free ammo. It's industry relationships, right? If you're a homie with, Bob at Ruger, right, you're going to soften your criticisms because Bob at Ruger is going to be a little hurt when you say that, the Ruger SFAR is a fucking piece of shit, right? And you're like, well, he spent the last 3 years of his life working on that product, right? So you're going to soften. You're like, well, it's a piece of shit, but it's got potential, right? So that's, to me, that's the biggest form of bias is industry relations. And
yeah, that's
you can't mitigate it, right? You can be honest about the biases, but don't ever say that like, hey, I'm aware of the bias, therefore I can combat the biases. It's like that only goes so far.
You'd have to be like a true blue dyed-in-the-wool sociopath for that to actually be the case. So I think only Ben Steger is legitimately immune to bias.
There's a couple out there. There for sure is a couple out there. You know what I mean? And they'll it's definitely have seen that before is refilming or softening the blows, whatever it may be, and it's like, oh, that's trash. And going back to your point brings you back to those days. Like, yeah, I've bought stuff, expensive stuff when I didn't have the money or could have spent the money in a much better way. And then I'm out, like there's one particular optic. The company makes other good stuff, but I bought this one based off of a video some guy did. I went through 3 of them before I finally gave up. So, bought one, warranty. And it's like, nah, that's just no way. This is trash.
Look at this comment. AAC ammo blows up guns. Here's the problem. I tend to prefer my own experience versus third-hand experience, right? If something has happened to me, I think it's more impactful to my experience than a comment that I read on Reddit. AAC ammo blows up guns. I don't know. I've shot probably at least 10,000 rounds of that shit across many different calibers. You know what has, in my recent experience, blown up guns? We've had PMC X-Tac blow up, I think, 3 guns in our group, just our guy. 4 guns? Okay. PMC and
it's on X-Tac. Camera, too. It's spicy shit.
Yeah, PMC X-Tac blew up 4 guns in our small little community of like shooters in the last like year and a half. That's what I've personally seen. And you know what I buy a lot? PMC X-Tac. Because I bet the odds of it blowing up more guns is pretty low. The price is right, and the velocity is correct. So I'm going to keep buying a lot of PMC blew up my gun. And also, when it blew up Brock's gun, then whatever. No, he infected my gun with his gun's problems just by touching it for a second because he's a fucking human virus. But we don't have to worry about that right now. Anyway, that's the problem. Like a lot of the information you see on the internet is repeated because it's funny. It's a meme. Mm-hmm. And I try to take that stuff into account, but I'm still gonna like privilege my own experiences over what I read online. So firsthand
And
over
it's-
fifth hand.
It's going to catch more
I
eyes
still
too.
buy X-Tac to let the record show.
Yeah, and Brock's still buying X-Tac. It blew up in his face.
On
I
camera.
wasn't even there, and I'm like, ooh, sketchy. It blew up in his face. The magazine shot out and everything. And
blew up in Ryan's face as well. That was a funny one.
The volume of ammo that we're shooting is such that you just can't just be like, well, I'm never buying X-Tac again. You're like, well, that's not economically feasible, because sometimes that is just such a good deal. I have to buy it. Sorry. And I'm, it's a different batch made in a different month on a different machine by a different guy. The odds that it's going to blow up again,
just
very low.
Everyone dropped their quality standards during COVID. All the ammo manufacturers.
Yeah, ammo does.
All of them were blowing up guns. So it's cope, but.
And I mean, it's to the point, especially when you shoot a lot. So like my first year of going out and shooting matches and stuff, on hook, this is new, this is cool, is I was shooting a bunch, and you kind of realize it's almost funny. Like I was at a match and I gun just didn't go off. It was like the first or second shot of the stage at the Washington State match. So I cleared it, went back, and it was like Federal. It was Winchester, not Federal. Winchester. They literally just didn't put a primer. There was no powder. There was no nothing. But it was funny because it was like, all right, that sucks and that's really stupid. But that's, I've shot like 6,000 rounds of this in the past month, 2 months, whatever it may be. Probably 2 months, not a month. That'd be a lot of shooting. But 2 months, and this is the first time. Like, all right, that's kind of funny, But if I were to post about it hardcore on like Reddit or something like that, it would get more attention than saying, yeah, this run's good. Runs all right.
So I spent the first couple of years of my shooting career or whatever, doing a lot of rimfire because it was affordable and I was broke. And I was like shooting a variety of different ammunition. And I literally for years, through thousands of rounds, never had a single failure with CCI Minimag. And I was getting to the point where I was like, you know what? I think this reputation of 22 long rifle is not being a reliable load. I think that's bullshit. I think if you buy quality CCI Minimag, you're never going to have a problem. And then COVID hit, and all the CCI Minimag that I bought would have like 2 or 3 dead primers per 100 round box. And I was like, well, shit, I guess we're back to the old days of 22 not being reliable. And I don't even know why why did COVID have to infect ammunition of all things? It doesn't even seem like it should be transmissible, but whatever.
So much. I remember the most I paid for 1,000 rounds of 9mm during COVID was, I think it was like $650. It literally got to a point. I was working a ton of overtime, like 30, 40 hours overtime minimum. So I was just spending that overtime money. So I was continuously buying ammo, and prices were going up. It got to a point, like the sketchiest. I forget who we found this dude from, but went to a parking lot, and I thought we were going to get robbed or something, but they said they had ammo and it was a deal. And sure enough, it was this dude. He was a lawyer. And after work, he just drove around in one of his beater cars, and he had tens of thousands of rounds like that he was just selling that he had bought before COVID. And I was like, this is sick. This is awesome.
Mike Pappas.
And you know what? I'm
famously a big fan of beater cars.
Like I still have like Tula 9mm, which at one point I swore I would never shoot because of bad experience. And then during COVID, I was like, if I see it, I'm buying it. And I still have like 3,000-4,000 rounds just sitting on the shelf. Also, I saw a comment on the RCR that just caught my eye. I hate that. I hate the RCR. I don't know what you guys feel about it. Sorry. Yes, Gene Lemmings.
I have a complicated relationship with the RCR because on the one hand, it's like objectively not very good. But on the other hand, it is kind of what people have been asking for, which is give me a second pane of glass on an RMR. The RMR is the optic that I trust. Give me an enclosed version. And that's what the RCR is. And that's all it is.
My favorite part
is fuck. It's warped as fuck. It's
yes.
They didn't do
it's
anyone's
so warpy. Update. Yeah.
That's
the funny thing is it's the only, there are no good enclosed optics right now that aren't an RMR or aren't a Holosun is the funny part, right? What are you going to buy, an Acro P2? Well, that thing is shitting out front panes of glass left and fucking right, and it's so small that suddenly field of view does matter on a red dot. We thought field of view didn't matter on red dots. Well, the Acro P2 has you changed.
We spent years saying field of view doesn't matter on red dots. Just open your other eye, and then Aimpoint was like, actually,
yeah, I just traded mine on SRO. Like I wasn't digging that.
What if you make something so bad that it renders your previous experience obsolete?
So I like the RCR in the sense that it's the only non-Hall Sun enclosed dot that like fits an RMR pattern and does all that shit. But on the other hand, it is egregiously expensive for literally an RMR with an extra pane of glass, and they're proud. It's like, oh, we didn't change anything. It's like, no, please change some things. Like the RMR does not look good anymore.
Yeah, with tiny. So you get a tiny window, and then I'm one of those guys that harps on the blue. And for some reason in like Washington with overcast all the time, it just drove me crazy because then it's overcast, then it's more blue. And then if you do have backup irons, then you're taking up a lot of that tiny window. And it's like at this point, I just hated it. I'm not a big fan of RMR, but I'm not basing it off of how rugged it is. Just like shootability for myself, which is subjective. And then, the RCR, like I remember getting my hands on one and looking through it and just instantly was like,
it's an RMR. It's an RMR.
Yeah. Like I'm not going to spend, I don't even know how much it is, dude. What about the Steiner? The Steiner.
Oh, that's a piece of Oh, I want to love it because it's a great footprint. Like it sits low, but it's actually not terrible during the day, but to me, I care a lot about night vision performance and I care a lot about clarity. And you look through that thing and it's like a 1.1x. Like there is very noticeable magnification under night vision. And it's got a number of other shit. And it also looks like a Decepticon, right? So I don't know if it depends on who.
See, I didn't look at it under night vision, but it could have been one of the cherry picked ones because it wasn't for. I liked it because I was like, oh, this isn't too bad, but didn't look at it under night vision, and also I don't know if they cherry picked it. I don't know how often that occurs, but it went to someone with a lot of followers, so I was like, maybe they did, maybe they didn't.
Yeah. I think on a handgun or something in the day, it's probably fine, but under NV, like I don't know how it changes. It looks like an MRO. Like there's a noticeable magnification and field of view or focus focal shift on it, and so the dot's going to be out of focus and all that stuff, which is a really niche, whatever the fuck thing. But if I'm buying a $600, $500, whatever it was at the time, it's a lot cheaper now. That is something to consider.
I heard an anecdote. Somebody was like around a dinner table at a gun event or something, and someone was like, "Oh yeah, I went to Steiner's factory and I watched them assembling their red dots. And the way that they set parallax was by moving everything by hand, then pointing it out a window at an air conditioning unit on a building across the street and being like, yeah, it looks like it's in focus." And I was like, that explains a fucking lot, because like SIG EO, the SIG red dot facility, they have extremely fancy machines that do all that sort of stuff and like measure everything with lasers and sensors and all that, whatever. And they seem to be doing a really good job of making red dots. And everybody else is seeming to have a hard time catching up to Holosun and SIG. And when you hear stories about like, yeah, it's like an old babushka who's just pointing a red dot out the window and being like, looks good.
Babushka.
Let's glue it in. It kind of explains things.
You know what I've liked? I've liked I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. If you have a ton of experience, the Vortex line of pistol dots that have been coming out.
That's a hop. I need to get a sweater. It's the AC is on 0. You got a hop.
He's on his third piss break of 2 hours. This man's bladder is just packing it in. When the new Vortex Defenders came out, like Vortex had not, kind of like Burris, Vortex and Burris had these ancient dots that they had not updated in a long time, but they were still popular, I think, with competition guys. And so they finally decided to update the lineup. They came out with the Defender series. And when they launched, they were just a complete disaster. They had not done a great job. They had a really bad refresh rate flicker, which is irritating. And then they had this like, not even like there's no technical reason for it. It was just a mistake where they set the auto off timer at 14 hours. So you're like, there's just no way. Like if you're trying to save battery, an auto off 14-hour timer means at the end of the day, you take your gun, you put it in the nightstand. And then when you wake up 8 hours later and pick the gun back up, it hasn't even had time to turn off yet. So it will never be off. So you're not saving any battery life. What is wrong with you? But they fixed both of those things in a soft launch, and now they're quite good. So I get to enjoy the comments on the video that I did of the launch model where I was like, they got all these problems, all these comments being like, no, they don't. And I'm like, yeah, you know why they fucking don't? is because people like me reviewed them and were like, what is going on with these things? And they fixed it. So credit to them. They took the feedback in line and they fixed it. But that's only because people were very mean to them. I think that's important. People do sometimes get upset, especially if they've already bought the product themselves. They'll be like, hey, I have this and it works fine. Why are you being so mean? Well, that's part of my job, I guess. But sometimes a little gentle bullying of a manufacturer is what kind of gives them the kick in the pants to actually make positive changes about their products. And so maybe being overly positive to that company would be cruelty of a different sort, saying, hey, Aimpoint, you can't do anything wrong. You can do literally nothing wrong. And then their Acro P2s start popping lenses and springing leaks. And they're like, how come nobody told us? It's like, well, because we liked you so much. Like, you built up so much goodwill that we didn't want to say anything mean to you. And now you're getting blindsided by all these returns. Sorry.
That's like what was it? The E-Flex, the EOTech pistol.
Oh, that's a piece of shit.
I hated it. I was stoked on it too. Delta Point Pro footprint, because for some reason I was driving with that at the time. And then I bought one and the rubber button thing sheared off like within the first, I think it was like mag or 2 mags. And then the glass, it's a big open emitter dot. Cool, I'm going to put on my 34. And then the glass sucked, like warped on that one too. And I was like, this is the worst thing ever. Not the worst, but I hated it so much. I don't think they listened to the bullying though.
I don't think they've messed with it at all yet. Like I have a recent production one because I picked up the Voodoo 3-9 bundle, and there was a lot of good stuff about it. Like their light transmission was good. Their brightness settings for night vision were really good. As far as the DPP footprint went at the time, they had the lowest deck height. So co-witness, like there was a lot of good stuff about that, but it didn't get bright enough. And then a lot of people had just failures, like glass popping out, emitters dying, stuff like that. I've had, I think 2 or 3 of those, and none of mine have failed, but yeah, they're not bright enough. I don't know. It's an odd one. My little pet theory is that they really had nothing to do with the design of it, because the design of that dot is straight up a 1-to-1 clone of a Bushnell RXS 250, which is a Chinese red dot that Bushnell sells for a lot less money at basically the same level of performance.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I think that they can spec some things on that dot, and they can assemble it here, maybe to higher quality standards in the Bushnell, but maybe not. And so they would probably have to do a lot of real work to improve the E-Flex. And since it's probably not their priority, I don't think we're going to see it. You never know.
My brother got an E-Flex. Haven't heard of the Acro having condensation problems. Yeah, I've seen that before. Condensation problems for sure. That's crazy. Yeah. Good afternoon, Purple Dot Pretzels. Well, that's not talking about dots, so I can't respond to you, nerd. Your real name is nerd.
Dots Pretzels are our mascot.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So
cool.
I heard the most
Pretzels.
disappointing thing ever. I don't whatever the Lay's company is, Frito
Like
Lay's
potato chip.
Yeah. So Frito-Lay's bought Dots. She sold the company off for like 1.something billion, and my heart.
That could be bad. Something could happen to Dots.
So we
the new flavor, buffalo flavor. I can't find them in stock local, so I'm still waiting to try buffalo flavor Dots. But I bet.
We kept it. We bought it. It's sitting on my fridge in Salt Lake City, and you'll be able to try it.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Yeah, Bones, send another question, dude.
Do we want to start moving on to questions? And Charlie, if you want to take off for this part, there's a lot of motherfucking super chats.
No, I'm down. It's Labor Day tomorrow. The old lady doesn't have to work, so we're gonna watch a movie after. So I'm not in a rush, dude.
Oh yeah. Do you want to start moving through the super chats? It'll take about
I've picked up a couple of them. They were honestly, a lot of them were not questions. They were just sort of general kind messages of support, which of course.
Let's take it from the top and let's get through it and call it a night.
I mean, it'd be like this one here. Let's see if I can get it to show up. Before the stream is over, the viewers demand to see Doggo and or Kitty. Socko's outside being a menace.
I need to get
Doggo on Brock's stream a little bit ago, so we at least got a glimpse of Doggo.
Nova's not in great shape right now. She keeps hurting her foot. I need. Oh,
that's a good question too. I'll keep that.
All right, Whoops. Okay.
As long as it's an odd. That's not a good question.
It's not a question. It's a hipster statement.
Are you rolling from the top down?
I was, but I was not finding a whole lot of actionable questions. We're gonna have to.
Well, we got to at least thank the motherfucker for giving us beer money.
Super chats. Now we'll read. I kept yours on the screen, Bones, because that's an interesting one for sure. Or my phone. So
the original version before we had Streamlabs, whatever the fuck you're using, I would screenshot it into a Word document and go get them all later.
There's got to be a better way.
Well, whatever you're doing is the better way.
It's not because there's no on Streamlabs. There's no way to sort, so I have to just scroll until I see the color, and then I'm like, "Oh, color, that must be good." See, I mean, yeah, we get stuff like this. Harrison Wells, curse you, Hop. I need a PLXC Nova now, but I'm poor. You have hit on.
I think the PLXC regular is better. No, the first focal plane is better.
I think the first focal plane is kind of the same.
No. You can spend a lot less money than 1.5 grand.
Well, that is the big advantage. The big advantage to the first focal plane is that right now they're like $1,000. They're way on sale, and you're getting the same reticle utility. No, the first focal plane, not the RDB version, but the original one, because they're just
the original
$1,000. You want to spend one, get that second focal plane with the red dot bright illumination Nova version.
No, the red dot bright. That's if you are the attacker faggot
for the birds. Don't need it. So yeah, the original PLXC is still good if you want to save $500. Everyday American says, just bought a Flux Raider. Am I gay? Yes. What's a good red dot for it? You're gay. Can't figure out if I put a Holosun or an $800 T2.
Yeah, do I show mine off? I got a pretty sick setup that is egregious.
Do you show yours off? No, because we're on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What's a good red dot for it? Well, Brock and I are both anti the concept of putting pistol dots on things that don't need them. So I would say put a micro tube.
403R or the new one, ARO or whatever it's called. Is that an AR? No, that's
a 403R. Yeah, the 403R or the ARO is actually a good choice because it comes with a low mount, which is what you're going to.
Yeah, so get an ARO, put it on there.
Just a full-size tube dot, because pistol dots have warpy glass, bad parallax. They're never going to compete on light transmission, I don't think, with full-size micro rifle red dots. So
whatever, it's okay. It's a flux. You don't care about light transmission.
Also, it's a flux. So who cares? You're gay. Squib loads for someone starting a gun/reloading YouTube channel in 2025 for fun. What words of advice do you have for navigating the community and the YouTube algorithm? That is such a niche topic that you don't even have to worry about the algorithm, my friend. You do have to worry about YouTube moderation because you are getting dangerously close to the concept of like manufacturing or building your own, and they could be a little pissy about that kind of stuff.
So my big thing is, I'm sure all two of you get comments about like, hey, I'm starting a channel, please give advice. And the big thing to me is a lot of people are, hey, what sponsors? How do I make money? How do I do all this? And I did GunTube, whatever you want to call it, for almost 3 years at a loss, just as a passion project, because I wanted to do all this stuff. And I see these channels keep trying to figure out how to monetize, how to get the algorithm, how to do all that stuff. And you can tell really quickly when a channel like loses its soul and is chasing views and all that stuff. And if you chase views, especially if you chase views as a small channel, it's really fucking obvious. And like, I think that's the big thing. Like just say what you want to say, man. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if it's not, maybe it's not. And later on, you can optimize viewership, you can optimize quality, you can optimize sponsorships, but that comes much later. And unfortunately, I see so many channels just like hey man, I quit my job, I'm trying to make GunTube, and they got 3,000 subs, and it's like, bro, not yet, man.
Yeah, don't get locked in to the graph. I mean, you'll get videos go up, videos that go down, especially if you're just starting. If you're wondering why you don't have 1 million views right off the rip, you're just going to disappoint yourself. And if you're doing it just so you can get money, then that may not be the best reason to get into it, like at all. Because then again, you'll probably just end up disappointing yourself. Or maybe you make it and you get so much money, and I don't know, you're either a really good guy or you are a villain. Maybe. Like, don't get caught up. If you like doing it and you got spare time, cool. But don't.
My advice, yeah, don't be a villain, please.
Yeah, I'm very autistic, so I Excel sheet everything. And for the first 3.5 years, I could have just been working at McDonald's and I would have made more money. And, now we're here. I'm not saying it takes, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. Most people can probably do it faster than I did. But, I think it's very obvious when you're not doing it for the right reason.
If you're posting your first video and you've already got a Patreon set up, that's a red flag. That's concerning. I don't know. I quit my job before I had a real viable YouTube path, and I just funded it with the money that I'd saved up for my real job. And I think I could tell at that point that the projections were looking good. I was like, I think if I invest more time into this, I can actually make it a job. But at the time that I quit my
you were pulling almost 1 million views a month when you quit. So
yeah,
you were
I was not cash positive at that point. So
yeah, well, it's because you're shit with money and you need to hire me to manage your finances. So that's a different story.
Yeah, if you can avoid buying 4 almost identical Midwest rails for a build for a video, you should, because it turns out it's really hard to make money when you're like, hey guys, here's my 10.3 build. I bought 4 Midwest rails at full MSRP and sold them at a catastrophic loss.
Yeah, and YouTube can zuck you at any time. They could take that all away from you, and who knows? What? No one expected COVID. Maybe you were getting by, and then all of a sudden ammo prices shoot up. There goes how many videos, how much content, stuff like that. It's super unpredictable. Like I said, for myself and Fetsy, who we do this channel because we have the same kind of like goal as far as the type of content. We both got jobs. Like one day, yeah, it'd be cool to do it full time, but the expectation wasn't there from the beginning. I would have just been disappointed, or yeah, I would have just been disappointed. Simple as that.
Or you start doing some desperate sellout kind of shit to try to get back to what you thought you were making based off of one video that went viral, and you were like, oh, this is what I make on YouTube now, and that's not real. That was an outlier. So yeah, if you just have one successful video, you're like, that's it, I'm a YouTuber now. Maybe, hopefully, but maybe not. Anyhow, noob actual. So as schizo gun guys, do you believe that doing videos on preparedness adjacent disciplines would be successful? Hunting, homesteading, animals.
So I'd like to. So Hop's not really my favorite clip of all time. Is Hop talking about preparedness and cutting to me pulling my food out from under my bed. It's like, that's great and all, but I would rather kill myself than do something like that. Or what was it? Something to that effect. So Hop's not really a preparedness guy. I think that's more.
Depends who you compare me to. If you compare me to the Mormons, no. If you compare me to normal people, I got weeks worth of food and water, but Brock's got months worth of food and water. And if you really need it,
I'll eat Nova, and that's 6 months of food and water.
Yeah,
she's a chunky girl. So
interests me too.
Hunting, homesteading, and animals is incredibly successful, but with women, ironically, that's men are not into that shit apparently.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you do that, have a really awesome personality. Maybe.
I want chickens again. Chickens are fun. I love chickens.
Everyday American. People fail to realize that all of the content can be entertaining, but it falls on you as the consumer to determine what to take from the videos. Don't forget to think for yourselves and enjoy the content as entertainment. That disclaimer should pop up every time someone clicks on a YouTube video. That should just be built into YouTube's backend at this point.
That was really well said. And with the $20 donation, that guy's definitely like a doctor or a lawyer or something like that.
It's just an everyday.
Unfortunately, the vast majority of viewers, which is what determines success, do not think like that.
Yeah, I think what we try to do is not cater specifically to Gen Pop, But if Gen Pop shows up, hey, free bonus views. Like
the
cool,
6.8 video is full blown Gen Pop, and I'm big about trying to respond, or at least reading every single comment. But my 6.8 video, the NGSW one, hit Gen Pop, and it's like, all right, today I was like, you know what, might be time to stop responding to comments. I'm not used to responding to Gen Pop.
That Weapon Light video that I posted today is 50-50. It's O-Light comments and Goon Beam comments. And I'm like, where to fucking begin?
Yeah,
and the answer is don't.
A couple videos back where I'm talking about the stuff like you don't have to add stuff to a rifle. That did really well. And then one of the main comments was, "Oh, what's that on the rifle?" It's like, fuck. I don't want
Did you get the point of the video?
Yeah.
Wait. Go over the build though. I want to know what to buy.
Let me consume.
Give me just shut your mouth and give me a shopping list. That's all you gun tubers are good for. Sad, but unfortunately probably true.
Chevy Colorado for blue.
Some beer money.
Some Canada Dry, some sugar-free Canada Dry money, dude.
Every once in a while, I'm a little jealous of our buddy Chris's Colorado. He's got a way better truck than me. He's got a ZR2, which is a high trim level Colorado, and I've got an XL, which is the base trim Ranger. So obviously his truck's a bit nicer than mine. Could I have been equally as happy with a Colorado versus a Ranger? Probably.
Next chat.
Oh, we already got this guy.
Before the stream is over, the viewers demand home.
No, we saw that one. Yeah,
we already got.
I was just practicing.
They wanted dogs and cats, but cats not available, and the dogs are around.
Come on, Hop. We'll see what.
Doing my best here. Admin Clanker Simp confirmed. See, man, if we had read that one back when it was posted, it would have been so insightful. But now I have no idea what it's talking about. You got the this one. I think I propped up earlier. Please ask Charlie how his feet pick collection is. I don't even want to get into that one.
Oh, it's banging, dude. It's a good one. Ton of. I just on Focus Trip stream, he showed it. I sent him a few pictures from one of my folders. Just a bunch of dirty Indian feet.
We all have our proclivities. Kieran Marsalis, I wonder if anybody remembers that Nutton once turned down an offer to do a TV show for Discovery back in the day. I do think I remember hearing him tell that story. I also do remember that he used to be like on the email list for I think it was Eddie Bauer. Like they would send him pre-production stuff and get his feedback on it.
Dude, they sell those pants at Costco. That's pretty sick.
But yeah, no, Nutton Fancy's OG, man. That's why we liked him. Steven, GunTuber drama, and then what I can only assume, if I was viewing this in the YouTube chat app, it would have been like a special emote, but it's not. It's probably an anime chick animated. Here we go. Ask Cox Gaylord Hop is a lot for the members of a live stream. Also, rip FPS Russia. None of those words are in the Bible, my friend.
Rip FPS Russia almost ripped himself like at least 2 to 3 times.
Yeah, it was a lot of times where he got dangerously close to just getting his leg ripped off by a lawnmower blade or something. All my fetishes, Hop's eyebrows, Charlie, Brock's stash, and Admin's mud person beard. It's everywhere. This really was a who's that of YouTube personalities.
Dude, they just said Charlie. I was hoping, I don't know, maybe John.
No, it's everything about you. That's the thing. You are the total package, my friend.
I know, but is there like one thing that stands out or something?
No, because you're so well-rounded as a human being, I think.
I mean, that's fair. You're just saying that because it's true, but I mean, like one thing that's exceptional, you know?
Maybe next time.
Fuck.
Admin, fuck, marry, kill the boys in the chat.
That would have been.
We should have pulled these up earlier. We should be on the ball with this stuff.
We're not good at live streaming. That's Focus's job.
I think Admin would just respectfully decline to do any of that to any of us.
He'd answer it for sure. Flux Raider is a trick.
Yeah. I don't have an argument against that, so I'll just move on.
Thanks for the 5.
This goes hand in hand with this comment.
I'm not gay. I'm just married to a man. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, for the tax benefits, obviously.
Yeah.
Halsey says armed scholars' thumbnails should be a felony offense. Now
Yep.
that I will endorse. I will co-sign that opinion for sure. There's got to be a point at which anybody still watching either thinks it's a good gimmick, they're in on the joke, or they just legitimately get excited every time. They're like, well, Biden's in jail? Oh, he's not.
Yeah.
Trump died? Oh, he's fine. Like, I don't know. That would be such an exciting way to live life. Just every single clickbait thumbnail, you're like, no way. Oh, they got me. And just have such a nice personality that you're just fine with it.
Super positive all the time.
Yeah. Couldn't be me, obviously.
Dreidels.
Admin is a confirmed dreidel spinner.
Dreidels.
Is that based on the beard? It was a little orthodox looking. Hey, Nova Group, can you ask Charlie and Admin about their pedigree? But we don't care about their pedigree.
I feed Nova pedigree.
Oh, dude, do you really? You got to switch to Iams, dude.
I'm okay. So I do pedigree wet food mixed with her kibble, just as she's getting older. She's getting a little pickier with her diet, you know.
I have switched Sako to what is it? What's the meme? It's the second cheapest wine. I've switched him to the second most expensive cat food, because the most expensive cat food looks like a gimmick for white women, but the second most expensive cat food looks like good cat food that an animal would be proud to eat. So he's getting the good stuff now.
So I used to feed Nova the Costco food, and then she shit her brains out for 3 weeks straight. So I switched to old people dog food.
Poor girl.
Did you do the slow switch, or was it the sudden switch?
Well, she shit her brains out with the food she ate for 10 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just all of us like a switch over with the gut biome or something. Miss Maliz demeanor for $49.99. Absurd amount of money for my beloveds. We'll cut down a tree later for you, just for you. Also, Trench is the big gay, can confirm.
That dude's just-
then you would know.
that dude's just catching it all week.
It'll
be all right.
Yeah.
It will blow over, or maybe it won't.
Read the rule.
I think we're talking about BattleTech. I read the rules for 10 minutes at work, and my GED-addled brain began to scream. I haven't painted a single little guy for that game because of it. I honestly think that a lot of people are just going to get the figures and paint them, whether it be Warhammer, BattleTech, whatever. That's the fun part. Then actually playing is a chore because it involves measuring with rulers and rolling dice and pulling up calculators. It just doesn't seem like a fun way to spend an evening. But the artistic side of it.
The artistic side of it, yeah.
Put some Davion colors on an awesome.
What the fuck is a sec?
Swedish kroner, I think. I'm pretty sure one Swedish kroner is worth about 0.8 of a US cent. Charlie, peg these kids. Show them who's the dad, or whatever.
Or whatever.
I think whatever happened tonight, right?
All right, I think we got back up to where I was kind of keeping current with it, because that's when when Moo Man asked me what my favorite mech was.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
So I think okay. So now let's try going. I guess all the way to the bottom and then starting over until we feel like we're finished it. I don't have a good system for this. Uh-oh, Vintage Warfare's back. All I know is Hop would lose a 1v1 in War Thunder with me. Yeah, but I would play like in a historical fashion. You would probably have a nice plane, and I can't afford those.
Just instead of 1v1, you just walk into a bar and be like, what's a woman doing here?
The other thing, I don't play the factions that are good. I play the factions that are American, because so am I. Tusk the Third. My uncle fed me Fancy Feast for 2 weeks. I've been Fancy Feast versus Hamburger Helper, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, honestly.
Hamburger Helper is the superior Stroganoff. Whew.
Stroganoff's good. But Fancy Feast is fancy.
These are really NBs.
Time for the real important questions. What's the best box art on the shelf behind you, Hop? I'm not going to give you the actual best. I'm going to turn around for 3 seconds and pick one. Fuck.
Fear.
We're going with Jagged Alliance 2. It's just neat. Dumb guy. Any material you recommend for beginner semi-auto rifle shooting? Ooh.
Shot timer and shooting far.
Yeah, I mean that one you can. Joel Parks. I think Stoner has some videos in there of classes with your guys' favorite dude, Pranka. Also, Block's training group. He puts up videos, stuff like that. I'm not sure. They're harder to find, those types of videos, because a lot of people don't watch them. So you really got to do some digging, and then you gotta figure out, is this guy actually good at shooting, or did he just make that shooting look good?
Also, a lot of like rifle shooting is either going to be a rifle as an accessory to like CQB tactical shooting, or it's going to be precision long range shooting. So if you're just looking for like,
you could, I mean, simple thing just to start. We did a video last week. It's a real short video, but the basic concept to throw out for new shooters is like with rifle, instead of just doing the super close build around Mozambiques all the time, just push your targets further out, instead of 7 yards, maybe do 10, 20, 40. You could do doubles, triples, and obviously it's a rifle, so you could push further out than that. So just push them further, and then see if you can find videos out there. Maybe some of those dudes' names you talk about. If you're seeing this, that's what it means. You need to try something else. Also, Bear Solutions has some videos out there where he talks about stock placement, things like that.
My favorite one is I make Hop do this one, and it's very humbling every time. Just put an IPSC target at 100 yards or 100 meters and shoot it 3 times with a rifle. Your standard is 2 seconds, go. Right? And you're just going to fucking feel miserable because you're going to miss that pitch constantly. And you have to do a lot of work, and it's very obvious what you need to do. And then you go on YouTube to try to figure out the rest of it. But that drill sucks ass. Like, it'll beat your ass into the sand.
Yeah.
I was actually going to bring that one up. I was going to be like, there's a drill Brass makes me do.
Yeah, I make them do it every time, and it's 5 iterations of misses, and then you lock the fuck in, and
you're like, all right, I guess I should.
Yeah, people are like, 100 yards. Cool, like, oh yeah, well I can throw in some magnification and brace. It's like, no, you're doing this drill standing.
Yeah,
go do the drill. Have fun. You should be able to do that.
Squibloads. This is in reference to his earlier advice about starting a channel. I already have a mountain bike channel with 50K subs. Badass. More talking about what you would warn people about making gun content and how not to kick the hive in the first 6 months. Oh, dude, if you have a strong opinion, it's going to happen. Hopefully your strong opinions survive the context. Hopefully you're on the right side of history with those opinions. Or you could just not offend anybody, and then you're just, you're a lunch channel.
That's my channel.
Penguin 0.
Yeah.
So tell me what you guys think about this.
Okay, no, shut the fuck up for a second.
Situation is crazy. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see you next time.
No, I watched Penguin 0, and he watched the movie Weapons, and he was like, this movie wasn't amazing, but it was actually a good movie. And then we watched them. That movie sucks ass. What the fuck?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm inclined to believe it will be good.
Bad Weapons is as a movie.
Okay, well, we might have to have a topic on this one for the Subscribe Star podcast, because I feel like I should appreciate this as a fan of WKUK, but maybe it's not good.
You need to watch that movie. I fucking hate that movie. Okay, keep it going.
All right, all right. Put a pin in this. Put a pin in this. Jordan Flair says, Hop and Brass suck and I hate them. We know, dude. We know. See it, Moons. Joe Trekker. I have done my channel for 3 years. Views Delta and V. Copy that.
Yeah, Delta V. That's a.
I wonder if there was a.
Speaking of Delta V, a certain Instagram channel got upset that I used the term Delta V to describe change in velocity over a chrono thing, and said that was apparently only for spaceships and stuff.
I don't
start a story war.
It's our favorite Alex, whatever his name is.
Oh, Mr. Krychek, yes.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
It doesn't take much to set him off.
He's a fan of being set off.
View at your own risk says, thank you, Hop. Thank you, Brassfacts. Good luck, Charlie. Well, I'm not going to thank him. Okay. Good to see it. And I'm glad we didn't lose you in that mess.
Survived it.
It's good that he came out the other side still smelling of roses. Any thoughts, RDS MR?
Micro red dot?
Is he trying to reference like that new aim point?
Oh, the Duty MR multi-reticle. The only thing that makes that one somewhat interesting is that somebody pointed out to me that on Aimpoint's official spec sheet, the light transmission bandwidth for the multi-reticle Duty RDS is better than the original one. That was one of the ways you could just go on their website and immediately tell that the Duty RDS was cheaper glass, cheaper coatings. It did not have the same light transmission numbers as a T2. Apparently, the new one does have the same light transmission numbers. So it's possible it's actually going to be a good passive aiming performance for a little bit less money. But because they added the
multi-reticle, not a little less. T2s are like $900 now. Remember when T2s were $600? Now they're $900. What the fuck happened?
Yeah, whatever on sale price from Euro Optic, it's always the best barometer of price. But the MSRP on the new RDS MR is like $650, and you're like, that's at that point, that's the cost of an 8T AMR or 4T Pro, and frankly, no other red dot on the market can compete with anything that SIG makes at this point. So you're doing it for the brand clout. But if you're a brand clout guy, you got to know that the other Aimpoint owners are going to laugh at you for owning a Duty RDS. Just it's like you're like, oh, hey buddy, I have a VP9. I'm an HK owner, and they're like, that doesn't count. It's not a USP. It's not a Mark 23. It's not a P30. The VP9 does not count as an HK for terms of HK clout. Sorry.
Keep it rolling.
Kieran Marsalis, at what point does ethics become a handicap in altering the current zeitgeist? Is there maybe a benefit to sponsorships that raise the volume of your voice, or is there no value in challenging the status quo? That's a brutal fucking question. Damn. I'm going to run away and have some water.
I think so, because once you compromise, you can't really undo that, right? So by the time you get that voice doesn't matter anymore. And I'd speak a little more freely without being awkward if you weren't on here, Charlie, given a certain channel. But
dude, you could give your opinion. I don't have to hop in a conversation or anything like that. Don't let me stop you.
But you can get to the point where you absolutely, you go a little too hard on trying to appeal to the masses, and you lose the message in the process, and you struggle. It's impossible to go back, because you can't go back to, your older, smaller audience. You can't. You have to appeal to certain, standards. You don't want to swear. You want to appeal to the kids. Blah 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 blah. You lose yourself in the process, right? So I don't think, be it sponsorship, be it ideas, be it, appealing to a larger audience. I think there of course is a little bit of give and take, but if you go all in, there's no going back, in my opinion.
Yeah, and there's effects that happen after, you know what I mean? Like, could raise your voice or something like that, but also what type of person, you get lots of money, you raise your voice, but then outside of YouTube, what are you spending? Like, what's your spending habits? You're outpacing yourself, and then you have to do it more and more. Like, there's so many things that come into that besides just raising your voice. It's kind of crazy. You would have to be a pretty perfect individual, but I don't know. That's really gets into like the shilling to shill, just shill for cash. That's a hard sell. That's a super hard sell.
I think YouTube is like, it's really, and I feel this too, and I cannot imagine what it's like when you're pulling multi-mil views, right? Once you get to a certain point, that becomes the expectation, and then that becomes the new norm, and then you're like, well, I need a little bit more, and then that becomes the new norm, and then So I think it's yeah. Once you accept a new sponsor that pays out double from the last, that becomes the new norm. And then you expect more and more and more. And then you get, I'll just say it, like SDI sponsorships, right? Even past the point when it was aware what that meant, right? So.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would add is like you can raise your profile to attract more people who don't really care in the first place, I guess. If I think probably anybody who does YouTube long enough will have the occasional video that does better than expected, and it brings in a new audience of people who are not your demo, and they're like, what is this crap on my feed? And you're like, hey, I went viral, and guess what? A bunch of people who don't care about passive aiming light transmission through red dots watch my video about passive aiming light transmission through a red dot, and now they're mad at me. So what did I really get out of that, right? A bunch of people heard my lecture about why that matters, and then they disagreed. Valueless. Yeah. I mean, you get the views, you get the revenue from the views, but you're not actually spreading the information, because the people who the information gets to aren't interested in it.
Yeah, better build a core audience.
Basecamp says, does being restarted work for views?
Well,
if you hit
I feel like I can answer this one. Yeah, can help. Can help.
I think my biggest critique with a lot of channels is people's are too afraid of being a little too autistic and retarded about stuff sometimes. And it's like, I think as a YouTuber, it's your job to take it to the 110th percent, 130th percent, to go all in on it, because normal people don't have that luxury of going all in on this thing, and they want to see someone that did to the almost embarrassing level of autism, right? And they want to see someone that does that. So normal people don't have that luxury. It's your job to take it to that extreme level.
And it goes right back to, like, dude, you still have to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
When I played a retarded guy for a while, I am retarded, but I played a professional one for a while, even though I didn't make money off it.
Yeah.
Where I really liked comedy. I like that dry, dumb comedy. I still do, so it can work for the views, but you still have to go back to, like, do you like doing it? No, then don't force it, because it's going to become pretty evident.
That goes back to the thing I was saying earlier. So many people just want to be a gun tuber because they want to make money and be that, internet persona. And it's like, no, I just really like fucking talking about really stupid shit, like the difference between light transmission between an EOTech and a Huey and a Aimpoint T2 and all this stuff, right? Like, that's my brand of autism. I get to choose it. That's what it happened to be. So I like this shit. I would do this shit if I didn't make any money whatsoever. I do less of it, right? Because I can't buy as much, but I'd still do it. Right? I think that's.
So yeah, Brock and I do record a lot of range antics where we're just being stupid and doing bits to see what works, and then we only show you the ones that are actually funny, because a lot of it is not that funny, and nobody should be subjected to it. So yeah, we act restarted a lot of the time, but we don't make you watch most of it. Capybara says, what would be your recommended 30mm scope mount? Ooh, that's so many factors at play.
Aero precision, ultra lightweight, my beloved.
Rare, discontinued, can't get it anymore. Unless you want to do something like a quick detach, or you want to do a piggyback red dot. Not a ton of reason to go beyond the Aero ultralights. Warn Precision's skeleton, X-Skell, I think it's skeleton, whatever.
Yeah, the primary arms ones aren't bad. The PLX.
Primary arms, yeah, the PLX and GLX.
They come with the piggy. You can piggyback onto it pretty cheap. I like ScalarWorks just because it's kind of cool. But yeah,
that's the one that gets you the most upvotes on Reddit.
I don't know that much about that.
Anyway, keep it going. Also, the amount of clippies I've seen after that fucking repair guy's video.
It's just scrolling past Jordan being mean.
That was the doggo.
I can get my dog doesn't like to bark because I scold her when she barks. But
oh, dude, I have a 10-month-old chocolate lab.
Oh,
just goes ham, dude. Such a good dog.
Let me go grab mine. I can hear her scratching at the door because she's.
See, she wants to hang out. She wants to be.
The trench hate will continue until the pedigree improves.
I still don't know. Anybody who brings up pedigree, they don't seem to be pretty at all consistent on if they're pro or anti pedigree. Do we believe in it or not? I've been pretty clear about the fact that I don't care about pedigree. So when people call Trench's pedigree into question, I already didn't care about pedigree, so that does nothing for me. Brock Stauffer, how do you know how to make a dope card for artillery? I used Israel's and I've taken out 5 hospitals. Well, now that makes sense because it's dope stands for data on previous engagements. So if all you ever do is shoot at hospitals, then your dope chart will reflect that. Freak shoe operators is don't move. I'm almost done. I shudder to think what that's about. Mr. Warfare says, Charlie, USPSA stolen valor is very serious. Thank you for taking up the crusade.
Dude, it is. It's very serious. I regular stolen valor all the time, and I've never gotten any hate at all. So just don't do it, man. Regular stolen valor you can do. USPSA stolen valor you can't do.
The amount of instructors out there that are M on paper, but actually just farm the shit out of classifiers and then really are just B-class shooters is larger than you would think.
Oh, yeah.
Including big names in the industry that are respected at this time. To be sure, not that a B-class shooter can't be one hell of a teacher, which you can, yeah.
It's how you communicate and stuff like that. But if it's I'm this because I reshot classifiers over and over, and then take my class, and they don't care if they ever see you again because you already paid the $450, $500. You know.
It's also what are they teaching you to do? Are they teaching you to be good at USPSA? Because it's still a sport.
Yeah.
And if you're like, hey man, I was taught by the best football player in the world and I'm not good at basketball. They're not the same fucking sport. I don't know. This is going to have to be a video some other time. The one that will finally get me canceled once and for all. Corn Pop's Revenge says Mo, ammo, money, and treats for Nova.
Hey.
Hell yeah, brother.
He's already falling asleep again.
I could hear my dog having zoomies downstairs.
Kevin says, how many grenades do you guys think you can carry in your jeans while still winning a pistol match? I haven't worn jeans since high school.
Oh, dude, first you got to be able to win a pistol match. And then, honestly, thinking of the best shooter I know, 4.
That's, I just cock on the table. Just like, yeah, no, it's 4. It's exactly 4.
It's 4, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll put that one to the test in a future video. Tusk the Third, have you guys ever accidentally sat on your nuts messing around them rocks in Utah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Judicious use of manspreading keeps that to a minimum, but it's unavoidable in the long term. If you're not sitting on your nuts, you're just not sitting enough. Coppertone, duty owners equal hammers. Maybe you can explain that one to me later.
Like aim point duty?
Perhaps.
Or they have hammers?
Or that you should be beaten to death with hammers?
I think they should be beaten, yeah.
Yeah. Gondola spotted. This is not a drill. Yeah, there's a...
Oh, you do have one. Okay, yeah.
A K-Store gondola up there. I have a smaller gondola that hangs over my kitchen sink from a little peg that I found when I moved into my apartment many years ago. And every once in a while, like, somebody will come over and I'll forget that it's there. And they'll look at it and be like, what the hell is that? And I'll be like, oh, it's a long story. That's why I don't have any friends. SRO or 507 comp for my Chuck Cox G34 clone.
Right now, I'm going to say Defender XL, not the 5 MOA. Was it 3 MOA? I think it is. That's what I would say. Because SRO, you're going to be paying a lot of money. You still get a lot of window. The 507 comp is a great dot. Shot a lot of rounds to it. But the Defender XL, I like. It's a little bit taller, and the glass clarity is a little bit better. That would be my go-to. And yeah, I don't know the price difference right now for the 507 comp or Defender XL. Now, if it were SRO or 507 comp, you could find some deals on the 507 comp. I would just say get the 507 comp. same footprint, and you don't have to spend an extra $300 or $400.
Cool.
Solid.
Oh, it's him again.
It's him again. Here's some strong opinions. Evangelion is a derivative high school drama with alien biomechs. Also, the Mad Cat is goated and can 1v1 most battle mechs. All right, we got two discrete opinions here. Evangelion is older than people think because they re-released it again. Like when I was watching Evangelion, I was younger than the characters in the show, and now I'm substantially older. So when I used to watch that show as a kid, it was cool. Now I watch, I'm like, this is cringe nonsense. So I don't know. It's hard for me to just determine if it's good or not. As for the Mad Cat, we call it the Timberwolf here, sir. But you're correct otherwise. And I don't expect either of you to fucking engage with that question at all. It's not your job. View at your own risk. When achieving the end goal overrides your ethics and standards, you've already lost. That is probably the case. Scrolling. I'd pay good money for a video supercut of just the range antics, no editing or anything. Substar exclusive ? We'd have to edit out some of the saucier slurs, but otherwise that could potentially be
a lot of it is just me bullying Hop on his camera angles because we both debate on who has better camera angles.
Mine may not be as good, but I got this technique where I never crank the ND filter so far that it turns everything into like 110% vignette. So I am winning on that front. Only the real camera operators in the audience will appreciate that. You guys ever going to do a watch vid? Curious to what you're wearing on the wrist. I have a Casio
calculator watch.
Oh, hell yes. That goes perfectly with the 1970s serial killer vibe.
Oh, yeah. I just need to tell time. I don't need to know where the moon is or anything.
I don't know what it's called. I just know the sound it makes when it tells time. Sleepy Guy says, Nova! That's not a question. But thanks for trying.
Gore.
Oh, we're so close to the end, I can almost feel it. Bobbert Bobberson. Trench Colon says he's better than Pranka because he spreads the 2A. Only gets 10,000 total views on drama. VTuber shoots guns on stream, has 7,000 to 8,000 live views.
Yeah,
parse that one real quick. So Trench says that he spreads the 2A more than Pranka. That is, I would say, objectively true because Pranka's presence is almost non-existent. Only gets 10,000 views on drama. I don't know. If you're the last person in line for the drama, then you're probably not going to get the views. As VTubers shooting guns on stream, can they get away with that? Is that even possible? I think technologically you can probably get a VTuber avatar to shoot guns, but I don't know if you're allowed to do that on fucking Twitch. I don't disagree with your comment. I'm just puzzled by it. And so is the rest of the panel, apparently. HSP Snake, you want to become a GunTuber for the fame. I want to become a GunTuber so I can be paid to be targeted and artistic on camera. We are not the same. Correct. Being able to monetize the worst aspects of your personality is very freeing. I'll tell you that much. Coppertone says, slur stream. It's not an option. We asked Charlie to be on his best behavior, and he grudgingly agreed. Todd and Dogs, are you going to be interested in the SMS Laser Trinity? I am fully checked out on SMS. I
don't think SMS can make a good product, but I bought it anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't pay me to give a shit about that company anymore. Every time I bought one of their products, by the time it showed up in the mail, they were already 2 product iterations past it. I was like, what is the point? What am I doing here? I'm just wasting my money. So, no, I'm not going to be interested in the SMS Laser Trinity, but Brassfacts is because it's his fucking job. Juicy Media says, just wanted to say love and appreciate y'all's content, boys. Prage, Shaka Bra. Thank you. Thank you very much. Danny Noonan. Charlie, why is Glock 47 best? And why Ben Stoeger look like Willy Wonka hair?
I don't know if Glock 47 is best. I think because now you could throw a 19 slide on it, and it's a little bit more interchangeable than the previous 17. I like 34s, but if you start off on a 47, you're gonna like 47s better than 34s. So it's depends on the person. You know, Sam Matt, he did a good video. It's like it's his first. I don't want to say real video, but he has a couple of just matches, and then he did a video. It's Glock 34 versus 47. And he set him up pretty much the same, and then he shot him, and he shot, I don't know, he did a couple different, not drills, but he did like a class fire, things like that, and gave his thoughts. And that dude really nerds out and knows what he's talking about with pistols. So go check his video out. Sam Matt. Yeah, that's a weird name, weird two first name.
It's like a female YA novelist. 2 first names, no last name. Tusk the Third says, I would have kept 6 dog. Y'all are honorable. Yeah, that's the dog that we sheltered for a couple hours before his owners came finding him in the woods. If he had reacted differently, so I was the one who heard these people coming looking for their dog in the middle of the night, and it was terrifying. If the dog hadn't reacted the way that he did, he got all excited and he knew that they were his owners. If he had acted more suspiciously, then I would have just been like, I'm just going to point my gun at the entrance of the tent until this goes away. But no, it was obvious that dog belonged to those people. So we had to let him go. Andrew Vachon, the man, the myth, the legend, says, I think you missed my first chat. Spent $20 on it. We'll find you. We'll go
yeah,
back.
Focus. He did a $100 hair one.
Oh, yeah, because he was making fun of your video quality, I think.
Yeah, well, because I was a fucking man.
I'm going to sort just by chats. We'll try to get those. That will be the last thing that we do. So everybody else shut the fuck up. Nobody chat or comment anymore. Because we're so close. Gep comments N.
Yep, that's a Gep comment. Yep, Gep
it does seem like the sort of thing that you would do. I don't know. Your profile picture does sort of undercut all the base stuff you try to post, though. Bobertson. I mean, his non-drama gets barely any exposure. Okay, so referring to Trench, saying that he...
Well, that's because when he doesn't talk about drama, his opinion is not very informative.
I would say it's just... Drama is always the most viewed subset of any community. The drama surrounding a community is always so much more engaging than the actual community. Coppertone. Brock with the Millennial Gray office. Yeah. It's looking a little BlackRock behind you.
I am a millennial.
Spud Stalker says, go to bed. We're trying, man. We're trying. Ludovic says, what's the correct number of airport beers?
Two old fashions, 3 beers.
Depends on how much time you're spending in the airport. There was a time where Luke and I spent, I want to say 8 hours in the Knoxville, Tennessee airport. And I think we had like 4 or 5 very large beers. We left the restaurant, went over to the window to watch jets take off, and went back to the restaurant for more beers. That's how long we were stuck in this airport.
I like how they're saying Hop has fake books. They're all video games.
Yeah. Like, I bet you haven't read most of those books. You're like, you're goddamn right I haven't. Because they're PC games that only work on Windows 95. Juicy, agree. Object, agree. My 3 favorite heterosexual lesbian love triangle husbands. You have quite the headcanon, my friend.
Keep it going. Let's get out of here. It's fucking 9:30.
Trying my best. These people are talkative. Charlie, let's say you are the Canseco to Garan's McGuire. How many other YouTubers are juicing, and when does your book come out? That's a deep fucking cut.
Yeah, I don't know how many others are juicing. And I'm not you know
just
what?
Tell us who the Barry Bonds of GunTube is, and we can call it that.
I mean, I think he pretty much called it, I would imagine. I don't know.
Still top dog.
Still top dog. He probably is. I think we could find him.
With the quality of the stream, absolutely.
No, if we have to spell it like this, it's going to take all night. 34 slide on 45-47 frame with a 19 recoil spring. Does that even work?
I don't know. I don't
That
think
is
so.
extreme autism.
I could try that later, but at that point, I think I just have too much spare time on my hands.
Squibload says 5.7 is greater than 9mm loaded correctly. Handguns put bullets in people. Rifles put bullets through people.
I swear to God, if you mention
shotguns are disqualified. How y'all feel about the overt politicization of GunTuber channels now? I feel like besides stuff is Dems versus Republicans, it's annoying. Well, a lot of people do buy into the general myth that Republicans are generally pro-gun, which is not really something you can set your watch to.
I think the main person I troll on X is a Republican. Actually, yeah, it was Mike Lee and Tony Gonzalez. So for me, I really only paid attention to certain channels like that when I lived in Washington because they're always passing some crazy law, and I just wanted to know what was coming.
So yeah, like if Mike Lee's got the right letter after his name, does that excuse the other shit he's getting up to? No, it should not. But if you really want to win, you do have to pick a side.
Yeah.
Some of us are just too autistic to know or care. And not all of us have a political science degree like Brock does. Oh, Brock, you're getting trolled now. Melissa Demeanor says 199 to keep Brass up longer. Focus Strip says he means his score in chat XP. I forgot that they implemented a level ranking system in the chat. So we can actually click on the top fans.
I was looking.
And it's correct. Focus Strip has 5,400 XP. Melissa Demeanor has 3,600. Damn. This can't be accurate though. I don't know. It
Focus
probably
is the $100 hair. So.
Individual stream. I don't know.
All right, we're about done. Let's wrap it up. I'm seeing as they come.
All right. Anything that came in after 8:30 is disqualified. Fuck you. FNX 45 tactical video win hop. No, but I might do the FNP because it's from the era of shitty pistols that I like. Melissa Demeanor, Focus slowly catching up to Dad. Oh, I don't know what that means context-wise. Taylor Cook says you need an adapter, but the G347 does work. Well, it sounds like it's not fucking worth it then. Huge ass. Time for Hop to get hooked on phonics. Shut up. Focus Strip, you will get there. All right.
Also, there's one more.
Is awful.
I remember the guy who peed in my front yard. Dark mod. Fuck that guy.
Compulsive gun buyer. YouTube is being weird. My chat's not showing up anyways. Have some money. Yeah, I have not. I've been scrolling chat. I have not seen you before in the chat tonight, but who knows? Who knows what's happening? All right, now we have to find Andrew Vachon because he's a homie. All right, you guys entertain the troops. I'm going to start scrolling.
Dude, I don't know why I look cuter in the dark, bro. You know, some of these people are gassing me up, dude. I'm about to go downstairs and just divorce my wife and hop on Trent. Just kidding, never do.
As long as you get your stack balanced right, you should be fine.
Yeah, that's it. I take some magnesium with Trent so it equals out, dude.
Yeah. You still have a neck, so you're still in good shape.
Andrew, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to find you. I'm sure your comment was worthwhile, and we will get there. And then we will stop because we are tired and it is late.
It's 3 hours is too long for a stream. Sorry, Focus.
I don't think I can find it. It's color-coded, right?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yo, I am addicted to zinc. Oh, that zinc shit. No, I look stupid.
Well, hopefully if we start becoming really unentertaining, people will leave, and then we won't have to worry about it as much. Where the hell is Andrew? Do you want to just message me on Telegram or something?
Yeah, just have a message you. I need to pee again.
Good grief. Walnut-sized bladder and hop-sized beer intake.
6 arc bullpup.
Hey, I mean, I'd shoot it. Why not?
Nah.
I can't afford 6 arc. 6.5 Grendel is a lot more my speed.
I think if I ever did a review like that, I just wouldn't be into it. I'd be like, I don't know, fucking shoots bullets, man. That's sick.
It's absolutely nerd calibers, like, you know.
Now, when that Gen 6 comes out, though, for sure. For
Andrew,
sure.
I swear to God, it's not in here.
Some of these guys, it's funny, some of these guys are late to the N-word tower, so the letters show up in the middle of regular comments.
The watching Focus stream try to fill in that end tower is the most.
Yeah, he just dropped a G. Oh, he hit that quick. He's good at that.
You're not getting it.
He's got the low latency. Andrew, you're not in there, bro. You are not in there. I swear to God. So if you might have already posted it. And also, if you post the word hop in your comment, then I will see it because it'll be highlighted. And then every time I say that, everybody just immediately starts tagging me. So it becomes impossible.
Dude, they're working together now. That's sick. That's so cool to see teamwork.
Yeah, you do love to see the community come together around something.
Yeah, that's the gun community. That's sick, dude.
Yeah. God bless.
I'm going to go down and say it a bunch. I'm just yelling it at my dog, waiting for response.
Repetition is key.
All together now. Sigger. All right. Wrap the bitch up. I need to.
Yeah, I can't find it. Brock's about to explode. I'm sorry, Andrew. I know it's in there. I just can't find it anywhere for love nor money. Oh, hang on. Somebody just pinged me on Discord.
Oh my God.
Unrelated. All right, we're good. We can't keep doing this all night, everybody, but we sure love to.
3 hours is too long.
3 hours is a long time to sit still and not pee.
Not that I didn't enjoy this, but the last 20 minutes.
Not that he has a job to get to. But thank you guys very much for stopping by. Thank you, Charlie, for showing up and shooting the shit with us.
Tolerating.
Yeah, no, thanks
Putting
for
up
having
with
me,
it.
guys.
But yeah, Charlie's channel is linked, should be in the title of the video, in the description of the video. Click on it, subscribe, check him out. You started your channel somewhat recently in the grand scheme of things, but you've been posting more recently as well, right? So you have things to come.
Yeah. Still new, still figuring it out. It's fun. Then when you guys get out of here at some point, if you do, we'll do something.
You might finally teach me how to shoot.
I don't know. I can't even teach myself how to shoot, bro.
I've heard Ace VR is good for that.
Doing a video on it. We'll see.
Nice. All right, everybody.
I have a scar on my fucking right arm from going straight into a wall with
yeah.
Ace VR because that stupid fucking thing doesn't reset centered every time.
Yeah, it's got some quirks. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Stay tuned. We'll do another live stream in 2.5 months, perhaps.
Maybe.
Or next month.
You'll never know.
We'll try. Anyway, see you guys later.